Warning. This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to Viewer's Choice. Your selection is about to begin. But first, take a look at what else you can see this week.
Hey, dudes, inviting you to travel through time. First stop, a long layover at the video store.
Bogus.
Wait, you've got Viewer's Choice.
Excellent.
Hello, you rotten little bloodsuckers.
America's most popular now. Get extra value. $12.50 cash back.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. What? Say what it is.
Let's get out of here! Like now!
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
This is my ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. This is the core. Where we broadcast our pirate signal and hack into the Matrix.
Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar with your host, Anesto the double-headed coin, and your co-host, Pablo the Thunderbolt. Together, we are the Paramid Podcast.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
You know what's the hardest thing about podcasting? You got to do all the stuff yourself.
Damn right.
Go ahead, buddy. Do it. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and spend the money. And go, how much does AdSense make money at the beginning? Not a lot.
Jay and I and others tried to raise the alarm bells and bring this issue up to the appropriate level. We were met with fierce resistance. The stigma alone and the taboo of the topic, the historical association of UFOs, was something that for most people in leadership positions was too big of a pill to swallow. In fact, the stigma was so strong that people either believed A, the topic wasn't real, or B, the stigma was going to somehow taint or tarnish their career, so they didn't want to touch it.
The most mysterious and astonishing sights from our lost, ancient, unknown past is a site that is hardly ever talked about and, in fact, is a place that most people aren't even aware exists. The incredibly massive, deep underground city of Derinkuyu, located in the Cappadocia region of central modern-day Turkey and within the historic lands of ancient Anatolia, is among the most astonishing ancient wonders of the world, and which takes most people by complete surprise the first time they learn of it, as few are aware that a gigantic subterranean doomsday bunker-like city extends a staggering 18 levels deep into the earth, penetrating a remarkable depth of some 280 feet or 85 meters.
Just months after the bombshell 2025 pyramid discoveries, the world just got another groundbreaking discovery from Egypt. New radar scans from only a few weeks ago reveal something utterly impossible, hidden even deeper beneath Giza. that will completely rewrite the history of the pyramids as we know it. Originally, in March 2025, archaeologists uncovered something beneath the Pyramid of Khafra at Giza that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Professor Corrado Malanga and Filippo Biondi revealed radar scans showing spiraling staircases and massive vertical shafts extending over 2,000 feet below Egypt's sands. Structures so precise, so deliberately built that dismissing them as natural formations seemed almost impossible. Despite this, mainstream Egyptologists, led notably by Dr. Zahi Hawass, quickly tried to brush off these revelations, labeling them mere radar anomalies or
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Welcome to the most banned podcast on the internet with your hosts, Anesto and Pablo Morado. Broadcasting to you from the depths of the Nebuchadnezzar and fighting the unseen hand in search of truth. Join us as we go digging in the valley of the real for current events, conspiracies, and paranormal phenomenon. This is the Paramid Podcast. Don't forget to follow us at paranormal.experience on Instagram, at Paramid Podcast on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Paramid Podcast on YouTube. Every follow and like gets us one step closer to exposing the fools of the deep state. So let's light a fire of wisdom and take back our sovereignty.
Was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on. This was a small reactor about the size of a hemisphere, about the size of a basketball, on a metal plate. And when it was running, it produced a gravitational field of its own. Anyway, this device was producing that. And Barry said, almost like he was bragging, go ahead, try and touch the sphere. And I couldn't. It pushed my hands away, just like two like poles of a magnet.
How did they turn it on?
The reactor?
Yeah.
The hemisphere is removed. There's a small tower in the middle. When you put the hemisphere on, the reactor activates. The reactor shuts down. It's load sensing. So if there's no load on the reactor at all, it shuts down. When there's a load present on it, it starts up again. You can consider it an electrical load. There's no wiring that connects any of the subcomponents together whatsoever. They just have to be in the immediate vicinity. There was some progress. I mean,
welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar with your hosts,
Anesto and Pablo Morado! Welcome to the most banned podcast on the internet! This is show number 138. 138 episodes, folks, of amazing podcast episodes. We're breaking the zeitgeist. We are going in on the forefront of current events, conspiracies, and paranormal phenomenon. Tonight, we're going over the immense news of the Disclosure documentary that recently got unveiled. And what in the world is the Trinity? We'll find out more about that later in the podcast. So many things to discover, so many things to talk about. We got AM, PM game show, and much, much more. Ooh. Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar, live deep within the Narnia forest. Welcome, folks. Welcome.
Welcome, folks.
Yes. And, there's been a lot of interesting things going on. We have Paramid is cranking. We're doing more stuff with Paramid, thanks to our new partner, Miss Natalie, who's joined the Paramid brand, helping us spearhead and get our brand to more people. And a lot of things are going on in that front. And a lot of things are going on in the Paramid world, because there's a lot of changes that we're doing in the Paramid world. Current situation when it comes to
people that don't understand what Paramid is our supplement line.
That's right, our Paramid supplements. Now, did you know for those that recently joined us, or we've been selling these supplements under our brand, Paramid, and our flagship supplement right here is the Brain Boost, which is a complex of 10. Whoa. This has been going on. I don't know what's causing this issue. But nonetheless, it's a complex of 10 wonderful mushrooms all combined into one delicious gummy. And we've been on a journey with these supplements, but recently, due to geopolitical things, it's been really tough to source some of our supplements. So our manufacturer right now is in a bit of a predicament. Now, one thing we have to convey to our audience now and moving forward is that if you ever want to get a chance at trying our Brain Boost and what it could do for you, get it now. Get it now, because you know what? Unfortunately, our Optimal is sold out, and we don't know when we'll be able to get that back. At the same time, our joint support sold out. We don't know when we'll be able to get that back. Our collagen sold out. We don't know when we'll be able to get that back. So go ahead, go to Paramid.
What is that over there? Brain Boost?
Got some Brain Boost right here. I mean, Brain Boost we still got in stock. Oh, you need some Brain Boost to get those reflexes up there. But yes, I'm going to take some with you live on the cast. Amazing, delicious gummy. And quite frankly, we need to stress upon it. Get it now, because we don't know how long the supplies are going to last.
We got turmeric, or we ran out of that too?
We got some turmeric right here. We can take some as well. Turmeric is still going to stay. We still have turmeric in stock. We got Brain Boost in stock. We got a little bit. We got a little bit of our Optimal left in stock. So grab your Optimal supplements now before they're discontinued and you're unable to get them. And the reason why they're being discontinued is not because of any product defect. It's mainly because the sourcing of the materials that are of the quality that we strive for is becoming harder and harder and harder. And therefore, we have sold out of the materials that we do have. So we're working endlessly with our manufacturer to help get us more sources, so that way we can reproduce our Optimal, our joint support, our Sleep Well gummies, which a lot of people, including Natalie, rave about our Sleep Well gummies because of how effective they are in getting you to knock out and relax right before the end of the day.
And for the people joining us on my feed, on the Paranormal Experience on Instagram, if you want to get our supplements, just go to Paramid Sup. That's PARAMIN SUP SUPP.com.
And you can go to theparamid.com if you want to support the cast and donate.
And please, folks, especially the people that are watching us on Instagram, please like and subscribe on the YouTube page. Our YouTube page is The Paramid Podcast Live.
That's right. Or you can find this all at theparamid.com.
All our social medias are available on theparamid.com. It's our link tree, and you'll see all of our sites and Paramid News. News.
That's right. Paramid News. As a matter of fact, let's take a moment now.
But before you go to Paramid News, I just want to do a little teaser, and it's a little teaser even for you. I got a bombshell local story told to me by a writer. You're not gonna believe the story. This thing even rose the hairs behind my neck. I was like a freaking crow with hackles on my neck.
Oh man, okay.
Incredible story right out of Western Massachusetts. which it's funny how, I wear a vest that says Area 51, and on the other side it has a gray alien on the other side. The amount of attention this jacket gets, it's incredible. And because of that jacket that I wear and the tablet that I have in my car, I get incredible stories, but this one takes the cake. It's a alien story that you are not going to believe. So stay tuned, folks. I will be coming after the AM/PM show shortly, towards the bottom of the hour. But we have a lot of things to talk about.
So much, and we're going to be diving specifically on our favorite topic, the conspiracy UFO segment.
I want to say to our Portuguese and Brazilian folk,
Obrigado.
Obrigado. We're going to mention the Virginia incident.
Virginia incident.
And
unfortunately, I would not be visiting my Brazilian fellows because I got knocked out of the contest that I was in to bring me down to Brazil, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I was right before the Sweet 8, the final 8 out of 52 teams. I got knocked out at the...
Your team got knocked out.
My team got knocked out the final 16. And now it's the Sweet 8, and there's only...
And briefly, for people that don't know, I do ride shares for a living after being in business for many years, and managing and doing all kinds of odds and ends. Now I drive for a living. It's how I feed my family. Pablo, on the other hand, is in sales. If anybody in the Western... New England area, that would be Hartford, Springfield, Westfield, Chicopee, even parts of Waterbury, Eastfield, Enfield, I meant. What's that other place? Anyway, any western parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts, if you're interested in employment in the sales and get you out of that rut, reach out to Pablo. Do you want to give out a website?
You can find me at theparamid.com. You can find my Instagram. You can reach out there. Yes, if you are interested in looking for opportunities, we are looking, but we are very selective. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately,
there's money to be made, folks. There's money to be made.
This place is a godsend, and it's funny that you bring this up because I wasn't really going to bring this up here, but
you have to. I mean, we got the biggest platform available to us. And
well, yeah. I mean, if you're interested in what it takes to be a millionaire.
I don't know if you're at liberty to name the company, but if you're interested in sales,
yes, I mean, of course, you'll know if you know where you can find my my Instagram profile, you'll see where it is. And this place, like,
give the handle for your Instagram profile where they can see it.
It's Pablo's Thunder on Instagram. And essentially, you could also find it at theparamid.com, listed below. But yeah, so essentially, I got knocked out of the contest. So fortunately for my Brazilian fellows, I was hoping to meet you in person. That is not going to happen yet, or so that I know of. There's always a possibility that it might things might change. But for now, unfortunately, that meeting would have to be stunted. But yes, if you're looking for a place of employment, just reach out here. If you're looking for a place that is going to make you into a 6, 7, 8-figure earner, this is the place to do it. But it's not easy. It's not something that is it's gonna challenge you. It's gonna challenge you very, very much so. And I was listening to a podcast with Joe Rogan the other day, and he was talking with John Cena. And one of the things that he was mentioning in this podcast was the difficulty. Like, if you want to be at the top of the heap, well, look at what the people at the top of the heap have to go through.
I'll pause on that real quick. Valerina Fernandez, can you please let me know what country are you watching us from? Can you please comment below? I want to know where people are, because they're going. This is part of the Paramid experience feed. I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. So, Valerina, please. ¿Dónde está tú? ¿En qué país usted está? Now, I'm trying to speak. I'm trying to speak Portuguese
in Spanish.
¿En qué país ustedes están? Put it down on the comment, please. I would appreciate. Don't be afraid to comment. You know, you're part of the show. This is your show as well, and I'm glad that you're tuning in.
Yes, we are very glad.
So continue with your.
Yeah, I mean, it was just basically a clip with regards to what it takes to be at the top of the heap. And I wasn't really going to go into this on this podcast, but being that you brought up where I work, what I do, just take a quick listen. I'm going to cut it short because it's a 5-minute clip here, but just take a quick listen here. This is the Joe Rogan experience.
That's certainly the normal life aspect of it. It's also, like, at full tilt, it's a very absorbing thing. It's a very selfish thing. So I think not only you don't work regular office hours and you're a nomad, a gypsy, but especially from a WWE perspective, you have to, like, you're a startup founder. You have to wake up thinking about it. You have to think about it all day. You have to go to sleep thinking about it. Wake up in the 2 hours of sleep did you get being like, I remember this line, or maybe we can do this stunt or whatever.
Right.
And it's people who are in your sphere, at least through my perspective.
And this is Joe Rogan with John Cena, right?
That's right. You were in my gravity from like 2002 to like 2019. I wasn't a part of a team. You did it my way. Like, bus leaves at 10. If you're there at 10:01, you're fucking left. Like, we're doing this and we're training here and then we're doing this, but it's so the end product is good. So, like, the dream job of, like, man, I never the 6-year-old kid holding the paper belt can be an adult holding the real belt and get shekels for doing that. And I don't want to put that in jeopardy.
So that right there is exactly what I do. What he said is a great snapshot of what we do. Because, in fact, we have belts, championship belts for agents that are on par to UFC. Like, we actually have the UFC belt, the actual belt from UFC, and side by side to our belts, they're identical. They're made by the exact same manufacturer as a UFC belt. And it's funny because I went to an MMA match, like a low-level MMA match, and our belts of a higher standard and grade of even other MMA venues that are specifically doing this, and you're winning a title, a belt, and things like that. This belt is of a certain caliber, and that's what this company is all about, of being in a certain caliber. As a matter of fact, one of my coworkers just got himself a nice Corvette.
Oh, I saw it. That's a beautiful
You saw
car.
that? You saw that?
What year? Let me guess the year on that car.
I don't know the year. I don't know.
That looked, first of all, it looks like a Corvette Stingray.
Yep.
And I would say that is 1977 to 79.
That is my coworker, Mr. Amir Adamovich. He is one of our presidents.
Gorgeous car.
And he's
Really
one of my
beautiful.
mentors as well.
The ride is rough, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
That ride is rough, but it's beautiful. That's like women who wear stilettos. They look gorgeous in them, but they're not the most comfortable freaking shoe.
Well, here I'll share this.
Yvonne CFF has joined. Please let me know what country are you watching us from. Yvonne, hi Yvonne. Please let us know qué país está usted and what country you are.
So this is the car.
Oh my God, that's gorgeous. The pop-up lights are
yeah. But that's his second Corvette Stingray because he has a new one. He has the 2022.
That body kit that's not standard with that car. That has a body kit to it. Man, that is sexy.
Yeah, congratulations to
I don't think
Emir
I fit
Adamovich.
in there, but man, that is sexy.
It's funny where I work. People are getting all kinds of cars. The other day I'm walking in. There's a white i8 now because my leader, my guy that I work with, he has the black i8. He had it for a little while. Come into the parking lot. I see a white i8. My mentor, Albert Shekhnazarov, driving around in a Ferrari. I'm seeing people, there's a Toyota Supra, the new one in the lot. There's all these, Teslas and BMWs. It is a lot filled with exotics. Let's just put it that way. Lotus and all kinds. Anything you can think of, it's there in our lot. And people think, is this a car dealership? It's not a car dealership. It's just a place where people make money. And just like you were saying about Dan Pena, you want to make a lot of money, start cold calling people. Well, listening to The Art of the Deal and hearing Donald Trump, who is a billionaire, go from deal to deal, and his day is literally spent entirely on the phone before being the president. And I'm sure even now as the president, his day spent entirely on the phone between negotiating things and closing deals. I'm seeing, that's very accurate. That's very true. You gotta be cold calling people, and shaking hands, making networks.
Let me ask you a question in reference to that business, because for a very long time, I have heard, from very different sources, and my sources either come from watching it on TV, documentaries, or live experiences when I give rides to people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was working in Jersey, I gave a ride to a very affluent man who I actually picked up on the tarmac of Teterboro Airport.
Okay.
And when I got to his house, he was a very nice man. Happens to be that the reason I picked him up at Teterboro was because something happened to his chauffeur, and his chauffeur wasn't able to come on time. He arrived early, and he had to get home quick. He ordered an Uber.
Okay.
So when I take him to his house, and I see he has a 6-car garage. As you got to drive up to his house. So as I'm driving up, I'm seeing all the garage doors open. And there's one exotic car. I think it was a Bugatti. On another one, there was a Ferrari. On another one, there was a Lamborghini. I'm like, holy cow, this guy is loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So me jokingly asked him, what do I have to do to have one of those?
Mm-hmm.
I was pointing at the house.
Mm.
And he said the recipe is real simple. Be the dumbest one and the poorest one in the group. 2, get into sales. There's no other way to go about it. If you want this kind of wealth, you have to get in sales. And 3, work 24 hours a day.
for your dream. If this is your dream, this is what you got to do. So, when we got there, the guy says, look, it was a long ride. If you want a bottled water, you want to have food. My kitchen is fully stocked. Just walk in. Don't worry. Just walk in. Park your car here. Walk in. Get whatever you want. I got Tupperwares that you can pack food in, take home, whatever you want to do. So, I said, you know what? He's offering. I'm going in. I was under the intention I was going to get a bottled water. When I go in there, it's like a restaurant. Full-blown, catered, every kind of food from seafood to gourmet food to even deli food. I'm like, damn, like this guy is like, it looked like he was having a party.
Okay.
So there's a maid there or an assistant. Maybe maid is kind of like antiquated.
Derogatory at this point.
But he has an assistant there, and she tells me, get whatever you want, I'll pack it up for you. And she was Latin. Actually, she was Dominican. And I asked her, like, what does this guy do? She's like, this is like one of his homes. This is like one of the most, one of the less affluent of his homes in the United States. And she goes, you wanna get a kick out of something? Look out of that window. So I look out the window, and I see a little mini golf course. I was like, wow, this guy has a little golf course in his backyard. She goes, that's not the amazing thing. This is. She presses the button. The golf course lifts up, shifts to the side, drops. Below that golf course was a swimming pool.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
yeah, I mean,
if this is what you want to be affluent, to be wealthy.
Well, listen to this quick clip here.
It does come with caveats, I must say.
Listen to this.
Hey, I'm getting married, or like my grandfather died, or I got a birthday coming up, or like, hey man, you missed another Thanksgiving. You're damn right I did, because I'm doing the thing.
Yeah.
So that it's also, for me at least, it was that as well, of like laser focus, all things WWE.
Well, it's that in everything that you do where you want to really be successful.
It takes, saying yes to the thing means no to everything else.
I had Jensen Huang on the podcast the other day, who's the CEO of NVIDIA. Like one of the biggest companies on planet Earth. Huge company. Fucking dude still to this day works 7 days a week. And he was talking about when he goes on vacation. I go, do you go on vacation and just put it all down? He goes, no, I work. He goes, even when I'm with my family, I have to work. I'm working. I work 7 days a week. I don't take a day off. I love it. And he goes, and I'm terrified of failure. He goes, that's my motivation. My motivation is not I want to succeed. My motivation is fear of failure.
Yeah.
And every day I show up saying, if I don't do this, we could fail, and I'm going to work 7 days a week. Everybody who thinks they want to be a CEO, you think you want to be a billionaire, like, you want to do that? You want to do that when you're 60 years old? Do you want to be working 7 days a week? All day long from the moment you wake up? He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning. He says he answers thousands of emails a day. I'm like, what? How is that even fucking possible? Gets up at 4:30 in the morning, answers all these emails, works all day long, constantly problem solving, making AI chips. It's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah. So,
and that's the caveat.
And that guy Jensen, he's worth $180 billion.
And again, that's the caveat. I was listening to a man who I never knew existed until a couple of days ago. His name is Dan Pena. And he says, in order to achieve what I have achieved, your mother's dying of cancer, she has to wait.
Unfortunately,
she has
that's
to
what
wait.
it is.
And that's to put it in perspective.
But then if you're doing what you love to do, which I love what I do. So if you're doing what you love to do, that that time, that focus that you need to have, time flies. It feels great. You know, you're constantly focused. You're getting highs. You're getting a lot of like, you know, every sale you make is a high that you get. You know, and it's an experience.
Now let me ask you about before we move on, because we cannot dwell too long.
No. We have to move on.
But I'm curious about the business that you're in.
Oh wait, we got a incoming comment, and it's by VV Vitchmaster V. Hey, are you guys brothers? Nope, we are a father and son podcast. We are father and son. We're one of the only father and son podcasts that exist. So yeah, we're father and son. Thank you for asking.
Question about the business that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, you know, because what am I?
You're an Uber driver.
No. What am I on the show?
Okay. You're one of these. I'll get you.
I'm an Uber and Lyft driver. I am a T-Rex. I am a dinosaur. To me, the business model that you guys are using, cold calling, getting sales over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but it seems a little antiquated.
I mean,
do you foresee a day when the cold calling is like via Zoom?
Oh, I mean, I've had Zoom conversations every now and again.
Like instead of you calling a phone number,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually tapping into somebody's camera. Say, hi, I'm from so.
Oh, you know what? That would be a blessing. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but it could be. It could be. It would be a blessing, to be honest.
I very rarely anymore do I see people conventionally talking on the phone the way I grew up, which is you got that whole thing that you do.
Yeah. It's always like this with their phone in front of you.
Yeah, now it's like this.
FaceTime.
And they're FaceTiming.
Yeah.
And it's either FaceTime, WhatsApp, or whatever app you're using.
Right.
You know, they're seeing each other.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So cold calling to me is like,
I mean, I would love if that would be the predominant way we communicate, because it will make my career a lot easier.
Do you see that in the future coming? Instead of you calling a phone number, you're videoing.
Honestly, at this moment, it's still far out of, it's still.
How far away would you say? 2 to 3 years, 5 years?
Depends, because it's an infrastructure change. Because think about it. You have to, I reach out to businesses, right? So you would have to get to a point where you're FaceTiming Domino's.
Because right now,
right? You're calling in Domino's, or let's say you're calling in your local pizzeria. That would have to be a FaceTime connection. And on the one end, yeah, it's potentially possible, but is there a desire for it? Kind of on the consumer end, maybe, but on the business end, not so much. So
I would say, from my personal experience, I would welcome that for many reasons, right? Now any swinging dick cannot call me on the phone. And I'll be like, who the hell is calling me?
Right.
Like, for instance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you see a guy from, whatever the hell in Philippines, and you'll be like.
I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Ginini High. What country are you viewing us from? Please let me know in the comments below. Hi, welcome aboard to the Paramid Podcast. Now let me ask you this, and let me tell you this. The other day I'm, resting. I get a phone call, and they're telling me that there's my phone number came on a fraud alert, and they're telling me they're from Chase Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Chase Bank? He said that my name came up on a Zelle thing, and they think my number has been compromised. Freaking person sounded legit, but he made a mistake. He was under the impression that I am my dad. So somehow or another, my phone number appears on my dad's whatever.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I made a mistake. I was like, that's not me. That's my dad.
Okay.
Right? And he's telling me that my Zelle has been compromised. When was the last time I used it? And I'm like, something about it didn't. And I was like, can I get your number?
Mm-hmm.
And, he was, he sounded concerned.
Okay.
I was concerned. I was like, shit, did I get hacked? This guy sounds legit. So I said, give me your number. He gave me his number. Then he tells me I'm gonna switch over to the Zelle specialist or whatever. And then he starts asking me questions. I said, give me your number. Where are you from? And he gave me this number. And I said, you know what? I hung up. And I called back. The number you're trying to reach is unavailable. And he calls me right back. And I'm like, this wouldn't happen if what I'm talking about
was implemented.
Is implemented. Now it's video.
Right.
Now I can see the scumbag.
Right.
And I can see if he's legit or not.
Listen, I would applaud it if that was the predominant way that we reached out to people. I would love it. I would, because I'm dressed impeccable every single day. I am, you could see my face. It'll be a lot easier for me.
And I'm a big believer
the
that
technology is not like rumbling that this is going to replace numbers for now. For now. Could be in the future, but for now it doesn't seem
I really see a need for this, because the scammers, they're upping their game. They sound so legit that you question yourself. So, his mistake was that I don't have a Chase account. You understand?
Right.
My father had a Chase account long ago. So that's what, rang the...
Well, I had a Chase account, and we even have the same name. So, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't... He rattled off the wrong name. I was like, got you. That was like, what? I was like, uh-oh. So be careful out there. I'm just saying, video calling I would embrace, because at least I could look into your eyes and I could tell.
And I agree with that. I would agree with that. And before we get into the AM PM game show, I wanted to go down to a local story about something that it was a place that we used to go to very often. And that is, well, I'll just show you here. So Multiplex Cinemas, do you remember this place? I'm sure you do, but let's see. For those that don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
Gone.
Oh, wow.
And now it's a Tesla. It's a Tesla factory now.
Oh, in Flushing.
Yeah, that's College Point.
College Point.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What happened here? Go back. There you go.
Oh my God.
See, it's a Tesla factory now. That's what I grew up with. That was the Toys R Us we would go to. Multiplex Cinemas.
Wow. This shit is making me sentimental. Wow.
You see a Tesla factory, I see my childhood gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for Douglaston. Remember Douglaston?
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow.
Gone. Wow. You know, I grew up hearing like, oh, there used to be this place here and that place there.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't understand the nostalgia. Me being young, but as I get older, wow, that breaks my heart. Wow.
Yeah.
And that was a big place.
That was a big place, yeah. And it was a lot of memories made there. Lots of movies we watched there.
And I see that malls. I haven't been to the mall in over 10 years.
Wow.
10 freaking years.
You haven't even gone to the Holyoke Mall?
Nope. And neither do I have any desire to go in there.
We go there every now and again for round one, you know.
Believe it or not,
bowling.
I buy my clothes, everything online now. Everything I do is online. You know, and I have no desire. I went to, well, you went with me to the Yankee Candle Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place. But I got anxiety in that place. I was like, tweet, tweet, tweet.
And you saw it was bustling with people. Lots of people.
My God, I couldn't breathe.
But I think malls and things like that, what's going to be the future is curating experiences that you wouldn't get by shopping online. It would have to be an experience kind of oriented.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm knee deep in a series, and I believe this is on HBO. My wife doesn't understand why I watch this, because if you know your mother, she doesn't like dark humor.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't like Curb Your Enthusiasm, that kind of humor.
Uh-huh.
There's a show on HBO. It's called The Chair. Have you seen it?
No, I don't have HBO.
Don't you tap into my Amazon Prime?
No, we have our own Amazon, but yeah.
I thought you had access to our Amazon Prime. Anyway,
but yeah.
This show is about, I didn't know this guy from A Hole in the Wall, the main protagonist of the series.
Okay.
I didn't know he was involved in comedy.
Okay.
I'm hearing The Chair. I'm thinking the chairman of the company. So and there's no spoilers here.
Okay.
There's no spoilers. I'm just going to give you the intro of the show. The show is about a man who gets a position.
The Chair Company?
Yeah. Put it up. This guy. I didn't know he was in comedy. Evidently he is. He's got like a couple of variety shows.
Okay.
I got that from my daughter. That she said,
Okay.
oh, this is the guy who has that show. He's a funny dude. But anyway, the synopsis of this program, and I guarantee if you guys like dark humor, tap into this. He gets what do you call it? A promotion. Now he's a head guy of a company who builds malls.
Okay.
Right? And he beat out an older gentleman for the job.
Okay.
And the older gentleman tells him, look, I was up for the promotion. You got it. I'm proud of you. You know, I'm a team player. I'm going to help you. Whatever it is you need, you know, I'm happy for you, even though I was supposed to get the job. Right? So comes the day where he's going to do a presentation in introducing this new mall complex that they're building somewhere in Ohio.
Okay.
He does his presentation. People are clapping, and he's like, "This is like This is not only a mall, but it's an experience. It's organic. It blends all nature. It's like an experience that the new way to go to the mall."
Okay.
He finishes his presentation. Everybody's clapping for him, and he's on a stage. On the side of the stage are more people that are going to talk about the project. So when he finishes, there's people sitting on the side of the stage. So he says his bye, people applauding. So he goes to his seat that's on the stage. When he sits on the chair, the chair crumbles and he falls down on stage and makes a spectacle of himself.
Okay.
That's the show, because now he got up from falling from a broken chair and he dusts himself off and he says something of the effect, "I shouldn't have had that bagel."
Okay.
And he takes it in stride, but inside he's burning. He is burning. And the whole premise of the show is he's trying to find out why that chair broke. The whole premise of the show goes down
the rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole of that chair company. It's affecting his family. It's affecting his job. It's affecting his health.
Oh my
his
God.
Mental health. Because all he wants to do is find out what kind of a crappy chair company can this be where I sat on it and it crumbled.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
It's funny for the people that like dark humor. My wife doesn't like it because she doesn't like laughing at other people's expense. So
well, she's a perfect candidate for the AM PM game show.
We were talking about malls, and this show is about malls.
Yeah, so with that being said, it is time for the AM PM game.
Welcome to the AM PM game show, where Pablo and Anesto attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Using only their ears and their third eye, the host will make a guess on what is going on. If the host gets guesses correctly, they receive $20,000 of a fiat currency that no longer exists. So what do you say, folks? Shall we play a game?
Radio is theater of the mind. Radio is theater of the mind. But radio is theater of the mind. It's imagination. It's imagination. Radio is theater of the mind.
Okay, so the name of the game, folks, is What in the World is Going On in This Clip? And for you, sir, I'm going to make it easier. Name,
let's do it this way. We're going to do a benign, well, not a benign. This is just for the audience to get a taste of what theater of the mind is. Okay, I'm going to play something, and then you get to play yours.
Okay.
All right? This is a quick one. What is going on in this clip? And it virtually tells you what's going on, but I think it's humorous, So let me just let it play, and let's see. Here we go.
Who ran away after robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch of the...
Oh, man.
Officers have now arrested the suspect moments ago.
It really looks just like... Police are looking for a man who ran away.
All right, well, I'll let her play one more time.
After robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch of the...
Oh, man.
Officers have now arrested the suspect moments ago.
It really looks just like...
All right, so, guys, this is what theater of the mind is. What do you think is going on?
So, obviously, there was a suspect that, stole a car?
He's a bank robber.
Play it one more time.
Police are looking for a man who ran away after robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch of the...
Oh, man.
So he just robbed the store.
Officers have
they
now
released
arrested the suspect
the
moments
sketch.
ago.
It really looks just like... Police.
Okay, so I'm assuming that the sketch. They're laughing at the sketch, obviously, and the sketch is either obviously it's comically bad or it looks like somebody in the newsroom.
Okay, so if you go to the Trello, right, and this is not part of the competition. This is just for the audience to get a taste of what the AM PM game show. Folks who are on the Instagram feed, go to the Paramid.com. That's TheParamid.com. It's not pyramid, it's para, Para. Go to the Linktree page, go to our live, and you can either see us through YouTube, X, all the social media platforms there. It's all there, so you can see what we're looking at, because through this feed, you're not going to know what's going on. So on the Ask Pablo is bank robber.
All right, here we go.
This is funny, by the way.
Ran away after robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch of the...
Oh, man.
Well, I said it comically bad.
No, keep playing it.
Officers have now arrested the suspect
Oh, my God.
moments ago.
Wow.
It really looks just like...
No way. Is that
Police are
real?
looking for a man.
Is that real?
I don't know, but it's hilarious.
And who ran away after robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch.
So, the sketch is comically bad. It's not like one of those artist renderings of what a person
But
looks like.
In hindsight, it didn't have to be.
Well, apparently the guy looked exactly like the sketch.
Oh, man.
Officers have now arrested
that.
the suspect.
Oh, man. Who drew the sketch is the caption here. Wow. And like I said, it's comically bad. It's almost like a stick figure type face, large circle eyes with two dots for the pupils. But it turns out the suspect looks exactly
And the
like...
little scribble scrabble as for hair.
As for hair.
But that's exactly how he looks
That's
like.
exactly how he looks like. What are the odds on that?
So that is what the AM/PM game show is all about.
In that instance, I would have gotten a yay or a nay. What do you think? I think I got it. I pretty much
You got it,
nailed
yeah,
it.
yeah, you got it.
All
I
right.
mean, that was an easy one. He's virtually telling you what it's all about.
Well, with that being said, what in the world is going on in this clip? Hold on. I had it all queued
Again,
up
folks,
here
if
for
you're
you.
watching through this feed, Shilevi Aeroficial. Thank you for joining. Go to the paramid.com, Paramid.com, and watch all the bells and whistles as we are live on all social media platforms.
That's right. Okay, here we go. What in the world is going on in this clip? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Si chiama Cupa Cupa, è un tamburo a flessione. Non ti impenno le chiova stessa stessa, quella padrona va la piccola sala senza.
Dove possono venire a trovarla?
Sono tutti i giorni qui, nella chiesa di Sant'Antonio Abate. Cuore dei sassi di Matera.
Venite a Sant'Antonio Abate, che c'è Eustachio che vi suona.
La Cupa Cupa. Mamma mia. Si chiama Cupa Cupa.
What is going on in this clip?
Well, to me, it sounds like it's some kind of strange ceremony.
Okay.
It's like a ceremony, some kind of healer ceremony kind of a deal. And they're healing people maybe, or it sounds like some eyes wide shut kind of thing. But what throws me off is the rain that what do you call that instrument? That woo, 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 that the Australians use?
Oh, you're thinking of the didgeridoo?
Yeah, the didgeridoo.
Okay.
It sounds like somebody's playing that in the background.
Okay.
Play it again.
È un tamburo a flessione. Non ti impenno le chiova stessa stessa, quella padrona va la piccola sala senza.
Dove possono venire a trovarla?
Sono tutti i giorni qui, nella chiesa di Sant'Antonio Abate. Cuore dei sassi di Matera.
Venite a Sant'Antonio Abate, che c'è Eustachio che vi
And it
suona.
looks like he's dancing. He's like dancing to this thing.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
So, can you encapsulate the answer one more time for us to recap? What is your
To me,
final guess?
it's like a ceremony, some kind of like eyes wide shut kind of ceremony. And he's doing some kind of like dance, like, you know, like the Russians, like they kick up their legs or something like that.
All right. So here we go. And there's some kind. If you can name the instrument, you'll get the credit. If you can name the instrument he's playing,
It's like, what do you call it? The didgeridoo?
or describe it.
It's like what is it called? A didgeridoo?
Didgeridoo.
But instead of a didgeridoo, it's like some Blue Man Group tube or something that they're like one of those PVC pipes kind of a thing. That's what I'm guessing.
All right, here we go. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's make this share my screen with everybody up on stage. Here we go.
Si chiama Cupa Cupa, è un tamburo a flessione. Non ti impenno le chiova
Oh
stessa
my God.
quella padrona va la piccola sala senza.
Dove possono venire a trovarla?
Sono tutti i giorni qui, nella chiesa di Sant'Antonio Abate. Cuore dei sassi di Matera.
Venite a Sant'Antonio Abate, che c'è Eustachio che vi suona.
La Cupa Cupa. Mamma mia. Si chiama Cupa Cupa.
Si chiama Cupa Cupa un tamburo frisoni. So this is, I imagine, is Italian,
It's
right?
Italian, yeah.
All right, so people that are wanting to know what's going on in the video, there's this man in some kind of like...
It says in Matera, Italy.
He's like dressed in like some Italian garb.
He's got a button-up shirt, a nice vest with a
hat, and he's from his neck is hanging what looks like a drum, but with a stick inside of it, and he masturbates this drum.
Well, I mean, how else do you describe this?
I mean, he's actually the stick that's going down into the drum. He masturbates the stick and it makes that didgeridoo sound.
Oh man, I bet it's a fun instrument to play. Bet you his wife can't get him to stop playing.
I know, right? I've never seen such an instrument, but it's a very interesting one.
So I'd say, unfortunately for you, you got a...
Yes, unfortunately.
But it does kind of sound like a didgeridoo.
It does.
A masturbating instrument. Oh, man. All right. So going into one of our first stories here. So this is going to be a UFO extravaganza, and we'll go into a topic or a story that has been really boggling the minds of some people, and it's the story of what's going on in Egypt. Now, are you familiar with the new LiDAR technology that they scanned Egypt with and found some peculiar structures underneath?
Yeah, we've covered. Didn't we cover this in the show? Like maybe 10 shows ago.
Yes, we might have covered this before. But in addition, there's more stuff coming out. Right? There's more stuff coming out from that scan. There's more stuff coming out from that region. And one of the things that is coming out from that region that is very interesting is that they're stating that there is an underground city, an underground labyrinth.
So this goes beyond the pillars and all the things that
beyond the pillars and all that stuff. It's an underground labyrinth that is, they say it is, if you think that the Great Pyramid of Giza is an awe-inspiring spectacle, that this labyrinth that exists dwarfs the pyramids of Giza.
It dwarfs the pyramids up top, below.
But not only in terms of like actual height and the actual size of the whole thing, but the gravity and the implications of the whole thing, because it is wall to wall covered in ancient art. It is in hieroglyphics and all these things. And and it is basically an underground city. Now, this is very similar to what I'm hearing about Darren Kuyu. Do you know what Darren Kuyu?
Darren Kuyu, yes. Darren Kuyu is a massive. I think I saw this in Graham Hancock's. What's the name of his show? Ancient Archaeology. No,
Ancient Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So here's just to give you a brief. This is what Darren Kuyu looks like, so that people can kind of get an idea of what's hiding underneath the pyramids of Giza. So check this out. This is Darren Kuyu. So take a look here. Let's go right here. Here we go.
Deep underground city of Darren Kuyu, located in the Cappadocia region of central modern-day Turkey and within the historic lands of ancient Anatolia, is among the most astonishing.
And I've heard this thing is so massive.
Mm-hmm.
It virtually crosses like the center of Turkey or something like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it is.
You can travel miles under there.
Yeah. It connects two cities. It's not, Darren Kuyu is one city,
and there's another city 5 miles down the road that it connects to. Underground. Completely.
Wow.
Ancient city.
Astonishing ancient wonders of the world,
This
which takes
is a synopsis of what it looks like. But even this, if you can see this, this is not even an accurate depiction here, because
You know what it reminds me of?
this is only like 8 levels, and the actual Darren Kuyu is 18 levels. 18 floors.
What does that remind you of?
I'm a video gamer, so it reminds me of Fallout, unfortunately. But
Well,
yeah.
this reminds me of an ant farm.
Yeah, kind of like an ant farm, yeah. Yeah, but this is only 8 stories down. The actual Darren Kuyu is 18 stories. So this city could house 20,000 people underground. And
so
then
it's almost like a bunker.
Almost like a bunker, right? But the question is, who built it and why?
And this is in Turkey.
This is in Turkey, yeah.
Now, do they tell you what people were around during that time of
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that the reason they're having a hard time
were they
dating this,
Sumerian? Were they
don't know because
Babylonians?
Because this was been used by several societies over the course of history. So this has been used by multiple different kinds of people over history, over millennia, over centuries. So they don't know who the original occupants are because they've either been wiped out. The evidence has been wiped out by the original, by the occupants after them, or there's a lot of reasons why they can't tell because, again, there's so many people that lived through this. Like there's so many people that lived in this particular area that it's been used. So none of the things that they find now are still fairly recent because of the fact that there's been multiple occupants, but they can still trace it back, and it's still an ancient city based on like literature and things like that they find.
Now, Darren Kuyu is in Turkey, but there's another place that Graham Hancock goes to. What's the other place that they have like a tent over it?
Not Gobekli.
Gobekli Tepe.
Yeah, so like this city is supposed to be like, this is an advanced city. So based on the descriptions of what I'm hearing, it makes this city look like, how do I explain? Like the difference between how do I explain it? Like going to the capital of DR and going to New York City. Like it's that much of a difference. The elegance, the architecture, the whole thing.
Do they have like a date? How far back does this date?
So, well, not to confuse the audience here. So right now what we're looking at here is Darren Kuyu. But I'm using Darren Kuyu as an example in history that exists, right? That we could use as a scaffolding to get our understanding of what is hiding in Egypt.
So it's akin to
a Darren Kuyu.
To a Darren Kuyu.
Yes, and the pyramids are at the top of this, underground city. And a lot of interesting, shocking revelations have come out that the UFO world should be taking notice. Well, let me play a little bit more
of this clip about Darren Kuyu before we go on to Egypt here.
Okay.
Most people by complete surprise the first time they learn of it, as few are aware that a gigantic subterranean doomsday bunker-like city extends a staggering 18 levels deep into the earth, penetrating a remarkable depth of some 280 feet or 85 meters, creating a labyrinth of miles of endless tunnels that connect to hundreds of rooms which supported, get this, more than 20,000 people plus livestock. Here is an animated map which, although not drawn to scale, and it also only annotates 9 of the 18 total levels, however, it does greatly illustrate the nature and design of this incredible marvel of ingenuity and geoengineering. But perhaps the only thing more bizarre than an ancient 20,000 person deep underground city is the bizarre fact that we do not know who created it, how, or even when. In fact, why it was built and for what intended purpose is also hotly debated, making this incredible site among the most mysterious surviving remnants of a lost ancient civilization on Earth. And having had the incredible opportunity to travel to Turkey and visit this site in person earlier this year, I have to say that it was one of the more mind-boggling experiences I've had in my life while visiting ancient sites. In fact,
Now, could you imagine us being able to go down there and visit Darren Kuyu in person?
I would love that.
I mean,
I would love that.
How awesome would that be? But
further
check this
validated
out.
my...
This is the reason why I'm playing this is because like I said, this is like a scaffolding of what I believe is going on in Egypt. And it's very interesting what they do to this site here, because there's things that they don't want us to know. If you continue on here really
belief
quickly.
in the possibility that a great lost civilization with advanced knowledge and sophistication went to profound extent to survive an ancient cataclysm of some kind, and at some point in our distant past, as I'll elaborate on later in this video. But first, there are so many truly astonishing details about this enigmatic site that I'm going to share with you in this video, it's hard to even know where to begin. So first and foremost, when I said a moment ago that this site is massive, well, aside from the mind-blowing fact that it extends 18 stories and 280 feet deep into the earth, the city itself covers an area of 4 square kilometers, equivalent to 1.5 square miles, all of which is hidden beneath the surface of the modern-day city of Darren Kuyu, which, by the way, the name translates to deep well in Turkish, related to the discovery of this city and the fascinating system of deep water wells and sophisticated air ventilation shafts within this metropolis, which I'll share more about in a moment. But the phrase hidden beneath the surface is all too true when we consider the amazing fact as to how this lost underground city was rediscovered in modern times. As the story goes, back in 1963, a man was conducting renovations to his home and discovered this ancient underground city by total accident while sledgehammering his way through his basement wall, only to feel a draft of cold air flowing its way through the hole his sledgehammer had just went through. For centuries, tens of thousands of people unknowingly lived on top of this subterranean city while having no idea of the historic marvel that lay hidden hundreds of feet beneath their feet. And that is where this mystery becomes even more interesting, as the discovery of this one underground city led to something that nobody expected. While exploring the staggering 4 miles or 6.5 kilometers of tunnels within Darren Kuyu, they discovered a certain passageway located at the 3rd level down, approximately 20 to 30 feet under the surface, which took explorers on an epic journey through a seemingly never-ending tunnel which led them 9 kilometers or more than 5.5 miles, which eventually led to an entirely other underground city which itself supported thousands of people on its own, which we now know as the underground city of Kaymakli. That's right, 5.5 mile long man-made subterranean tunnel connects these 2 massive underground cities together. But unfortunately, that tunnel was sealed years ago with a concrete wall, along with many other tunnels throughout Darren Kuyu as we see today. And unfortunately, there do not appear to be any photos of this tunnel that have ever been made available to the public by the authorities that control this site. But from what I understand, it is located on the 3rd...
Maybe because they didn't want people to see what's in there.
So there's a lot of evidence that and interesting things that they've sealed off in Derinkuyu. Like they've sealed off lots of areas of Derinkuyu for reasons that is not made entirely clear to the public.
The same thing happened in Egypt.
Right.
There are many. First of all, they will not allow anybody to explore certain entrances in the pyramids. That it's just prohibited.
Right.
So what lays underneath is the enigma. And I believe there's an alien component here.
Well, that's the thing, that I believe that there's an alien component as well. And one of the things that that was shown here, hold on. So I have another clip. Now this is related to Egypt. Now going back to Egypt, because again, I'm using Derinkuyu as a scaffolding for Egypt.
Now think about this, which is to me fascinating. What was happening above that made these people tunnel below? Was the outside unlivable, intolerable? Something was going on,
I would assume so,
above that made these people tunnel. And it seems to me that either they were protecting themselves from something, but what would make people bury themselves underground unless they were using it as some kind of a protective barrier against invaders?
Well, that theory kind of goes out the window because there's 600 entrances to Derinkuyu, and they feel like for that many entrances, an enemy would definitely have found a way in and smoked them out somehow. So I'm thinking my immediate reaction here after hearing this was like, what if it was too hot? What if it, because they're in Turkey, right? So what if it was just so immensely hot, like unbearably hot?
That makes a lot of sense.
That they buried into the ground because it's
Looking
cooler
for
down.
cooler.
Yeah, because it's cooler down there, and then the water's down there, so they might have found a little oasis away from the heat. In my summation,
or maybe there was some kind of radiation.
That's another thing. Could have been some kind
poisoning
of
going
radiation. Yeah. So with that being said, so now using it as a scaffolding, like I mentioned, so they found a city very similar in Egypt. So check this out.
This is established technology, and they found the labyrinth. So what Lepsius said about the ruins of a Roman or Greek or Persian town with mud bricks and stuff, yep, that's there in the first few meters. You go down, then you hit the water table. So the water's at like 5 meters below the surface. And under that is the slab that Petrie found. Petrie didn't dig deep enough. Below that, we can find essentially a labyrinthian structure of granite and very dense rocks and walls, like a maze-like structure that has walls that are meters thick. So you can see like this labyrinthian structure of these walls and all of these lines and walls. And the scale of this, it's 100 meters vertically by 150 meters. So they used a whole bunch of different techniques to look at these areas around that pyramid at the site of Hawara, things like ground penetrating radar, geomagnetism, very low frequency, like seismic tomography, electrical resistivity tomography. There's a bunch of different techniques that are well established. Known science. This isn't like the Kafra scans. You can debate the merits of the technology. This is established technology. And they found
this labyrinth under Egypt.
The labyrinth. So what Lepsius said about the ruins of a Roman or Greek or Persian town with mud bricks and
so that is now another point of like contention, because
there's what is it called, lidar?
Lidar, right.
A lot of gatekeepers, that curate this area, they try to refute it. They say no, it's not true. This is not really what's going on under there.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, because the main guy,
Egypt remains to befuddle people. It's like this grand enigma. People, the more you dig in Egypt, it's to me it's so fascinating how big, how technologically advanced were the Egyptians that they were able to, let's say that city is true.
Mhm.
That's an amazing feat.
Well, not only that, so check this out. So I'm going to play this really quickly here. Let's see.
And I've heard,
Spoiler
before you
alert.
play this, I've heard another bizarre hypothesis
Mhm.
that a lot of these monuments, like Derinkuyu, what was the other one? Gobekli Tepe,
Mhm.
even Stonehenge, the pyramids, Pumakuntu,
Mhm.
these immense structures that, first of all, the cuttings that they see that were made
Mhm.
into the rock are so precise that they cannot fathom somebody with a hammer and chisel
Right.
making such precise lines. But what I'm hearing, like I've already heard it a couple of times. I listen to a lot of paranormal programs.
Mhm.
Has to do with a phenomenon that's happening now, that the earth is shifting its axis.
Mm.
So what they're saying is this is how the ancients were correcting that shift by placing extremely heavy objects in certain areas of the earth to either prevent or compensate for the shift.
To act like a counterweight.
Right.
Interesting.
I don't know how true that is. My education level doesn't go that far up, but
I wonder if that would be something that's real. Like, if we were to take all of the man-made created things
and put it on one side of the earth,
right? Would it just make the earth?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I wonder, but I don't think so. Do you think that would happen?
I don't know, because I hear that the city of Manhattan, the structures there are so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All the skyscrapers and all the things, the subway,
right,
and the overpasses, bridges. They're saying that Manhattan is sinking under its own weight.
So,
like every year it drops a couple inches.
That's wild. That's wild.
And this is in desert land. You understand? Like,
right.
I don't know.
With rocks and things that are like beyond hard, like granite and things like that. But so this is
why I gotta go to the desert. This is why I have to go to the desert, because for all set and purposes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Giza,
mm-hmm.
where these monolith style pyramids exist,
right?
That's sand below that, right?
Oh yeah,
sand and rock,
right?
But it makes it seem like I gotta go there. Can you ask Grok what is the surface like in the Giza plateau?
Let's see.
Please sit tight and hold on to your pence and quid. Pablo Morado is trolling the internet.
So the primary material is limestone bedrock. The entire plateau is a natural outcrop of Eocene age Neolithic limestone. The same stone the pyramids and Sphinx were carved from. Top layer, a thin, uneven cover of loose sand and fine gravel that shifts with the wind.
Now, this is where I want to.
Limestone.
How thick is the covering of sand in the Giza Plateau?
Let's see. On the Giza Plateau, the depth of sand cover varies dramatically depending on the exact location and season. Wind constantly moves it. Here are the typical ranges. Around the pyramid, the tourist zones is about 0 to 1 foot of sand. The Sphinx enclosure, immediate vicinity, 0.02, or rather 0 to 6.5 feet of sand. The main plateau surface is 8 inches to 5 feet of sand, and low areas and natural depressions is 6.5 feet to 20 feet in places.
So there are areas in the plateau where you could virtually brush off the sand and hit bedrock.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The reason
around the pyramids.
The
the
reason
tourist
I
zones.
ask, because when the pyramids were discovered, right, all you saw was the tip. And people did not know that these pyramids were there until a Batista.
Really?
Yeah. Discovered it.
So let's see. Yes, the pyramids of Giza were partially buried in sand when the Europeans first rediscovered and documented them in the modern era, but they were never completely buried at any single point in recorded history. Pyramids fully visible, polished white limestone casing gleaming, sand kept cleared. So that was in ancient times, and then it says here.
Can you find out from Grok who discovered the pyramids, or who is credited for discovering in modern day? It's funny, we're talking about pyramids, and there's one right behind me, right there.
Yes, there is. Let's see. No one. Apparently, however, in popular media, documentaries, and casual conversation, people sometimes mistakenly say that certain 19th century figures discovered them. Howard Weiss, Giovanni Battista cleared massive amounts of sand from the Sphinx and the base of the Great Pyramid. But no one actually discovered.
So they were there, just people didn't really pay attention to them.
Yeah, they were there, but they were buried in sand, and they
Did the Giovanni Battista actually discovered the ancient tombs?
So let's see. Yes, Giovanni Battista Caviglia is legitimately credited with discovering or reopening several important ancient Egyptian tombs and structures that had been completely buried and forgotten for centuries.
Interesting.
So going back to it, here's again, let's set the stage here for people that are listening. So I'm using Derinkuyu as an actual place that exists, that is under the ground, that is ancient, that nobody knows who or what built it.
Okay,
right?
I got one question about Derinkuyu.
Okay.
Are there structures above, like a marker? Or is just a hole in the ground? Are they like the pyramids? Is there like a temple above and you enter through, or there's just holes in the ground?
I don't know if there's holes in the ground, but let's just see. It's like
Or you enter through caves.
Let me see. Yes, there are visible ancient and medieval structures directly on the surface above the underground city of Derinkuyu. The underground city was not built in an empty field. It was carved beneath an existing settlement that had been occupied for thousands of years.
Are those structures there today?
Let's see.
Again, people who are looking at this cast through my feed, remember to go to the Paramid.com so that you can see all that Pablo is presenting on the screen. Again, is the Paramid.com.
And so, yes, plenty of ancient and historical structures are still visible above the ground directly over and around Derinkuyu today.
Can I see those pictures?
So
or images?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine.
All right, let's see what it looks like. I just want to make a comparison with that and what the pyramids look like today. And folks, you're tuning into show number 138.
This is one of the structures that lead into it. But let's see.
A Christian church. Most likely it wasn't a Christian church all the time.
No. But let's see. Like this.
They look like favelas.
Yeah.
Wow. That is interesting.
But you see how it's like almost like a pyramid type shape in a way. It could have been a city built on a pyramid. Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
You never know. But
and that's in Cappadocia.
Yes. So in Turkey. Now, the reason I'm using Derinkuyu is because they sound very familiar to me, and they're both ancient structures that nobody knows how they were built, and they're both underground, and it seems like the same methodology has been taking place in Egypt. But here's the coup de grace here. I'm going to play this. This is from the Joe Rogan Experience. Check this out.
There appears to be a 40-meter long metallic tic-tac shaped object. How deep into the ground?
It's in that. So it's in the central atrium, which we'll get into what that is, but somewhere in the realm of 60, 70 meters. So, man, what's that in feet? Like 200 feet, 150 to 180 feet down, something like that.
So for anybody who's interested, what is the name of that video that you put out?
I think it's the ancient structure, like it's said to be greater than the pyramids. I try to tease it a little bit, but it's on that. It's on my channel. I mean,
well, it was a good tease. You got me.
Thank you.
I dove right in, and I remember I was in the gym while I was watching it, and I literally stopped working out. And I was like, okay, I got to pause this because this is not something that I can consume while I'm working out. I need to really pay attention to this because it's so wild.
There's just been recently a bunch of new data that came up about things that happened a decade or two ago, or inside the last decade, that really changed that picture. And it was things like the Merlin Burrows scans that correlated other scans and also reported on, there seems to be a metallic object down there. And this isn't sort of crazy emerging science. This is a legitimate company that is using technology that's been well established in defence and in the UK defence. It came out of the UK military as a technology that's been more or less proven. So, and the guy that Tim Akers, rest in peace, unfortunately he's since passed, but he, what he said about this object, like he is a credible guy to say this. He doesn't draw conclusions about what it might be, but it's not wood, it's not stone, it's metal. It's not unlike other metal that he's seen, although they couldn't classify what exact type of metal it is. But he said, yeah, there is in this central atrium, because the labyrinth has multiple levels, and it's almost like imagine yourself standing in a shopping mall, and you have that central atrium where you can see all these levels, and it's like this big central chamber that connects.
So just like Darren Kuyu, right? Because the central chamber is the well, right? And that's what brings in fresh air down to the levels down below, right? So there's a central atrium where this tic-tac shaped metallic object resides in the middle of Egypt, and they don't want us to know about it. Now, isn't that funny?
Now we're getting into some juicy stuff, because in watching The Age of Disclosure, people don't realize one little element that is rarely touched upon on the mainstream media when they talk about the Tic Tac. What do you, when you think of the Tic Tac, right, and the Tic Tac video, what is it that what is the image you have in your head of what you've seen? And as far as the trials, the conferences that they've had, and
the black and white Tic Tac thing moving.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I wanted to get to. You usually see this monochromatic little shadow,
right,
representing the Tic Tac image.
Right.
Did you see The Age of Disclosure?
Yeah.
What do they say in The Age of Disclosure that blows the lid of that little image that you see on the radar?
Well, I know they said that there was definitely HD video of this Tic Tac UFO, and that they said it was that these things were coming in from 30,000 feet, which they had to clarify. They're like, for those that don't know, 30,000 feet is space, right? So it's coming from 30,000 feet down to our atmosphere and then back up again. That's another thing that they were mentioning. But in terms of specifically the material,
no, what I'm trying to get at, whenever you hear the Tic Tac image,
right,
or the Tic Tac vessel,
I'll play this here. This is what it looks like. Why isn't it?
Whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the Whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping-pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the Tic Tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent. The object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the Tic Tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the Whitewater was at, and it was gone also. As we looked around,
because in The Age of Disclosure, this is what left me like, wait a minute. In The Age of Disclosure, there's a part of it where they're describing them seeing the Tic Tac, and he says that the F-18s, I believe they are, were cruising in a group. You know how they fly in unison, and in between the two jets, they saw with their eyes the Tic Tac go whoosh.
Yes.
But they don't say that on the mainstream media. They just point out to this little grainy, monochromatic
that's
image.
all that they saw.
But they saw the actual thing.
Right. Well, in the age of disclosure, they break down 6 observable facts that prove UFOs exist. And we'll go down them, but before we get too into the weeds on that aspect here, I was gonna play. Just see where's my.
And
clips.
the main thing about the Tic Tac is that they say that this went into it came out of the water.
That is transmedium. So it comes out of the water, it goes into space, and without a problem.
Okay.
And you know what? The Tic Tac shape, to me, coincides with lore that I'm hearing about when it comes to the whole Nazi project, right? Because the German U-boats.
Hold that right there. Go to the Trello. Show number 138. Again, this is our 138th show. Are all the shows available on YouTube?
Yes, they are.
Because for some reason, I have a hard time getting all the shows.
Go ahead. So, show 138. What am I looking for?
It says Underground Base, Puerto Rico. Play that.
Okay.
This is way before any Tic Tac videos. Believe this is in the 80s.
All right, here we go.
A leading editor and investigator has been researching the UFO
Oh boy, here we go.
phenomenon in Puerto Rico for 20 years.
Are you suggesting that there is some kind of underground base beneath the lagoon or this area?
There's something very important going on here. Something is down there, maybe some type of alien facility that has been there for many years. People have seen actual UFOs, flying saucer, whatever, going into the lagoon or coming out from the lagoon.
We saw the wall of the lagoon illuminate, and in the dark, something emerging from the water.
Another eyewitness, Amore Rivera, adds to this incredible story, his own tale of abduction and detention in an underground facility.
So you believe this was an underground base underneath the sea that you were taken to?
Yes, it looked like an underground parking lot, sort of. It didn't have no windows, it didn't have no doors. From there, I lost consciousness and...
What did he just say?
Like an underground parking lot?
What does Derinkuyu look like?
I guess in a way you can say, yeah. Well, it's an
No
underground.
windows.
No doors. Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very similar. So this whole Tic Tac, the whole Tic Tac metallic shape, it coincides with the lore that I'm hearing with Nazi Germany because of what they were working on, which is the bell, right? The anti-gravity bell. And the lore goes that they took this bell and they put it inside a German U-boat, which a German U-boat is specifically designed to withstand the pressure of being underwater as it's a submarine, and it has nuclear power, right? So it can sustain itself for many years to come.
But the German U-boats of that time were not powered by nuclear.
Well, I believe they were. Let me just see.
I thought they were diesel.
No. Let's see.
Might be wrong.
So it says here, German U-boat during World War II was powered by nuclear energy.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it went so far back.
So let's
they
see
were not
here.
diesel.
So no, I'm sorry, I read this incorrectly. So it says no operational German U-boat during World War II was powered by nuclear energy. My apologies. It says here it was. You're right. It was diesel electric. Diesel electric on the surface, batteries submerged. Diesel electric. But let me just pull up the German the lore here. So,
because what I think the Bell did is create this bubble that protected whatever was inside the bubble from any pressures above and below. Because that's the new thing. People are talking about orbs. And what it is that they make some kind of electromagnetic force that creates a bubble, and it protects the people inside the bubble from pressure, from the speed. This is why the Tic Tac can bank like on a dime, go one direction and boom, go to the other direction. And by all said and purposes, if there's any living thing in that craft that banks like that,
it will be dead.
They'll be dead.
Right.
But that bubble is what keeps them from swishing around in there like a dryer.
Mm-hmm.
Like a washing machine.
Like a gravity envelope.
Right.
Right. So I'm waiting for Grok to spit out an answer here to my question. It's thinking, but based on the lore that I've heard, essentially that the German Bell was brought into the German U-boats, and that the U-boat is like the perfect vehicle to create a transmedium device, because you can go underwater,
it can withstand pressure.
Right, and it could also go into space because it's pressurized.
Right, it's pressurized.
So here's what Grok says. Yes, I'm familiar with this theory. It's a mix of interconnected Nazi Wunderwaffle or Wonder Weapon legends that have circulated in pseudo-history books. That's what they say. Online forums and documentary series since the early 2000s. The core revolves around the Glock, a German for the Bell, an alleged top-secret bell-shaped device developed by the Nazis' underground facilities like Der Ries in Lower Silesia, Poland, during World War II. According to the lore, it was overseen by SS General Hans Kammler and involved exotic physics experiments with radioactive mercury, like a substance called Zerum-525, spun in a counter-rotating cylinders to generate anti-gravity fields, distort space-time, or even enable time travel. Proponents claim it produced deadly side effects like radiation poisoning that killed scientists, which that's one of the observables that they mention in the Age of Disclosure, which is radiation poisoning, that killed scientists and concentration camp prisoners forced to work on it and created a glowing plasma or levitation during tests. The nuclear power energy angle ties into the claims that the Glock was either a prototype nuclear reactor. That's where I get it from. Okay. An isotope separation.
The Glock is the Bell.
Right. Separation centrifuge for the atomic the atomic bomb development, or 0 point energy device harnessing quantum effects, essentially a free energy machine suppressed post-war. However, this is speculative. Mainstream historians dismiss it as lacking evidence, and Nazi nuclear efforts were far behind the Allies, according to. They never achieved working reactor or bomb. As for the U-boat connection, the theory doesn't typically claim German submarines were directly powered by nuclear tech or retrofitted with the Glock, but it says here instead a variant suggests that at the war's end in 1945, as Soviet forces closes in, Kammler evacuated the Glock via a U-boat, which possibly U-530 or U-77 or 977, which surrendered mysteriously in Argentina months later to the secret Nazi bases in Antarctica, like Base 211 in New Schwabenland or Japan. The ties into broader myths of Nazi remnants fleeing with advanced tech, perhaps linking to post-war UFO sightings or the 1947 Roswell incident. Some claim the crash saucer was actually a Bell-derived craft. The transmedium aspect draws from Nazi-related UFO conspiracies like the Harenbu or the Vril flying discs, supposed anti-gravity saucers powered by similar Bell tech, which could allegedly dive into oceans or escape to space. In extreme versions, these portrayed as hybrid submersible aircraft, blending U-boat stealth with aerial capabilities. Your story might be grabbed from retelling of that, imagining U-boats upgraded flying subs via the Glock integration. So it could have been like a Mandela effect or something, or misremembering. But nonetheless, it kind of reminded me of that because, I mean, if it's a tic-tac shape, that's what submarines look like, don't they?
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to do this on air. I paid for the film. Did you rent it or did you buy it outright?
I bought it outright.
Okay, I bought it outright as well. Is there any way?
I can play some of the audio, but I can't play the video, unfortunately.
That was my question. Is there any way that we can give our audience
a taste,
a free show, and play the whole entire thing?
Definitely not. That would
They'll
be
spank us, huh?
Oh, for sure. But we can play some audio. But yeah, so the Tic Tac shape reminds me of a submersible, which is a submarine, right? And I even asked Grok right now, don't submarines look like Tic Tacs? And it said yes. When you strip away the conning tower, antennas, and hull details, many modern submarines, especially when viewed head-on from a distance underwater, do have a cylindrical, rounded end shape that vaguely resembles the famous Tic Tac UAP described by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2015. So I'm wondering if there's a connection there somehow. But the fact that they found this metallic Tic Tac shape in Egypt, in this underground city that they don't want us to know about, I'm slowly piecing together what I think is going on.
And the same thing with the video in Puerto Rico, where they say when I was watching that, I was like, out of all places the United States have, why would SETI set up in Puerto Rico? The Arecibo satellite that's there. Why Puerto Rico? Why not anywhere else? Could it be that they have a feeling that maybe there's something in that lake, and this is why they built that Arecibo in Puerto Rico. Something with Puerto Rico is important.
Yeah, so it could be the location.
We're living in an age right now that I believe disclosure is very near.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard that Ronald Reagan was very close to spilling the beans until the Federation got to him and said, nope, not yet.
Right.
And then what's this guy's name? Ished?
Haim Ished?
He knows that Donald Trump knows.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that are happening.
But if you listen to if you watch the movie Age of Disclosure, they specifically state that just because you're the president doesn't give you access to the information.
Right.
And the reason I think Donald Trump knows about it is not because of being the president. I think he knows about it because of his uncle. His uncle, I forget his uncle's name, John Trump.
Right.
John Trump, who was a physicist who coincidentally received all of the technology that Nikola Tesla was working on. Right? And therefore, I feel that he would be the perfect guy if you have a UFO that you're looking to reverse engineer. What better guy than the guy that had access to Tesla's technology, that knows about this stuff? He would be the perfect candidate.
Right.
Right? So I think that is how Donald Trump learned about it. And with the might of the presidency, he was able to crack open that seal, right? But still to this day, he's kind of grappling on whether to release this, because apparently we haven't mastered it. And this is what the Age of Disclosure is going down. It's saying that we right now are in a race.
Right.
We're in a level of an arms race where, just like before when we were racing against our adversaries to create an atomic bomb that nobody knew about until it was dropped, we're in the same kind of race to reverse engineer this technology. And they know that China has one, that Russia has one, that Japan has one, and a bunch of other countries have a UFO in their possession that they are reverse engineering.
And China's really, really,
really close. Well, what is China the best at?
Since 1964, the United States, long considered to be the leader of the space race, has spent $21 billion on Mars exploration. Since the 60s, only 3 countries, the United States, the Soviet Union, and China, have made soft landings on Mars. The discovery of water sparked theories that Mars supported a civilization billions of years ago, making Mars the main mission of the modern space race. The more we explore the red planet, the more the marvels of Mars mystify the minds of scientists and truth seekers. Could Mars be a future home for humanity? Or could it hold answers from an ancient civilization that just might save our own? These are the alien disclosure files.
On this particular channel, they mentioned something really juicy about the presidents, and I put it up on the promos. Let me see if I can get continue discussing while you're discussing, because I want to get this, because we're talking about the link of what's his name, Ished, Hamished. They talk about that,
right?
And I want to see the channel. How do I get to the channel on this thing?
To what channel? To our Instagram?
No, because when you subscribe, maybe in subscriptions.
Had a secretive. Well, if you tap on the profile picture, you should be able to see the channel. But yeah, so the link between the civilization or the underground structures of what they're seeing in Egypt, right? The resemblance to what it looks like in Turkey in Derinkuyu.
Since 1964.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
And it's housing this tic-tac shaped UFO. It could very well be that the aliens are sensitive to sunlight, right? And therefore they need, because they're out in space, right? So predominantly they're in their life, you would assume that they get no sunlight, right?
Right.
And what do you look like when you're out in space for a while? You get tall and lanky, and all your muscles start. So it kind of looks like what aliens look like, right? So if you were to it's a very interesting experiment that cannot be done because it puts human beings in jeopardy. But if you were to take a human being and just put them in space indefinitely, they would look different.
Here, let me. I think I got it. Let me see.
I mean, even when you see the astronauts that Elon Musk saved, right? Because there were, I don't know how many months in space. They could barely use their limbs here on Earth.
Right.
They were like almost a cripple for a while, right? So I wonder if the space travel and all that other stuff, it could likely prevents them from getting any kind of sunlight, and therefore the sun itself is dangerous to them. And thus they live in underground cities. And another disclosure that was made in the Age of Disclosure documentary was that, it could be the ocean floor, because we haven't even mapped the ocean floor. We don't even know what it looks like. And if there's
what lies beneath. Our oceans are vast and cover almost 75% of our planet's surface, and yet they remain largely unmapped.
Exactly.
Almost 80% of their wonders remain a mystery to us. They're also one of the most frequently reported places for unidentified aerial phenomena.
Right.
Only recently, UAPs have been witnessed entering the oceans at very high rates of speed. And since the depth of our oceans can be as much as 6 miles, could it be that some of these UAPs were simply trying to get home? Could there be an underwater civilization of alien life? And could these life forms travel at high speeds in what we now know as unidentified submerged objects? We know they are here, but do they live down there?
Interesting, right?
Right. So, and then one thing that Alex Jones has mentioned is that, there's this satanic cult network that basically they must openly
disclose and show their plans, through media, through different things.
For almost a century, U.S. presidents have witnessed and reported UAPs, including Franklin Roosevelt, Jimmy Carter, and Ronald Reagan. Did aliens seek and observe these leaders of the free world up close? Why? Has there already been contact? If so, is it something to do with controlling the limitless wealth contained in the skies above us? Our leaders have acknowledged that they are here, but another group seems intent on keeping that truth hidden. Who is this group? And how does it seem to have more power than our elected leaders? These are the Alien Disclosure Files.
All this is available on YouTube, by the way. This is a very good program, the Alien Disclosure Files. And from what I'm gathering, Donald Trump is at the verge
Oh yeah.
of disclosing.
Oh yeah. And he's got everybody in his cabinet that is disclosing these things.
Marco Rubio.
Right.
You saw the age of disclosure.
He's right in there. You even had Obama in that. So I mean, and Bill Clinton and George Bush all making claims about it. So I was going. So Alex Jones has made the statement that the people that are keeping this from us, this Illuminati or whatever society, the Galactic Federation, they have to openly disclose what they do in media and different aspects.
Right. This cult,
right,
must tell you what they're going to do before they do it.
Right.
And they use media outlets such as movies of Hollywood, now is streaming. They and even documentaries as this one, they allow it to transmit, because that's one thing that they really adhere to. It's one of their laws. For some reason, they must follow.
Right.
They got to tell you what they're going to do before they do it.
Right. I believe the reason, the rationale behind it is that's what gives them the power to do it. Right. That's what gives them the ability, the okay from the devil to go ahead and pursue it. It gives them the power, for lack of a better word, to actually move forward with their plan. So with that being said, a lot of what I'm hearing about these undergrounds and underwater cities and things like that, it reminds me of a video game that is very popular, and I wonder if that was
another outlet,
premonition or some kind of disclosure of what is actually hiding under the ocean. And it's called, of all things that they call it, guess what it's called? Guess what? This is a video game. I'm sure since you're not aware of video games, those that are aware of video games are probably shouting the name of the game through the screen right now. But because you're not aware of video games at all, there's a video game that specifically discusses an underwater city. Guess what the name of the underwater city is called?
Atlantis?
Rapture. And it's very, very interesting, the game. And it's called
so while we think in biblical form, when the rapture comes, all you see is like people disappearing everywhere. And from many interpretations, people just see like clothes left behind, like people were zapped out of their clothes. Maybe they're not going up.
They're going down.
They're going down. And they say that there are 2 directors that are obsessed with this alien phenomena, and that is well, let me rephrase that. Alien phenomena and what the future may hold. James Cameron and Steven Spielberg are at the top of the list. James Cameron, famous movie about underwater city or underwater aliens is what? The Abyss.
Yeah.
The Abyss. You have Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters, where his interpretation that music is a way of communication, which is kind of like eerie that we sent up Voyager
with
music and all that stuff, and now there's an anomaly in the sky right now in the universe. We having an extraterrestrial comet called Atlas, AI Atlas, right? That's what it's called?
Right.
Did you hear the latest on this thing?
No. Educate me.
They've heard, they now are getting a transmission from that comet, and it sounds like a heartbeat. Doom, doom.
Oh, my God.
Doom. Google that.
Okay.
There's so many things going on, and yet we're focused on such nonsense when you turn on the TV.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're more focused on, the Venezuelan drug boats being blown up than anything else. I feel like,
and I really don't understand what's the objection. You object to blowing up boats in Venezuelan waters that potentially, I really don't think that the president of the United States is going to risk the country by blowing up fishermen boats. They got a pretty good idea what's inside those boats.
That's right.
They got a pretty good idea. And let's say, just for the sake of conversation, they're 70% right. There's drugs on these boats. They warned you. Stop trafficking drugs through Venezuela to the United States. He warned them, if I see you in the water, I'm going to blow you up. And you do it anyway, right? Now, there's a compunction with these officials that say, oh, that's not right, right? Where's the compunction when a person like the sea hag, what's her name? Pelosi, goes into Congress, or she's in the Senate, and becomes extremely wealthy with insider trading. Because she's doing it.
Of course.
They're all doing it.
Oh yeah. There's actual applications that you could actually get. If you have a portfolio, you can actually link it to this AI that just tracks what she trades and trades exactly what she trades at the moment it notices that it trades her, when she does. And people that use this
are watching their portfolio go up.
So you have no problem with this woman breaking that law. But then you have a problem having the National Guard going into these cities that are riddled by crime.
Oh, I'll do you one better. Where was the outrage when the drone that blew up an innocent family in Afghanistan that was doing humanitarian work and helping the United States, they blew them up with a drone? Where's the outrage for that? You're going to be outraged about anything we do.
And who was president during that time?
Mr. Joe Biden.
So,
and you know what else is very interesting that is now coming up to...
Posed by strategic nuclear missiles.
Yeah, no, just in my...
That's now coming up in the news is, do you remember the scene where they were pulling out of Afghanistan?
Right. And they got attacked.
Well, not only they got attacked, but there was like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people bombarding the military,
the airplane,
they
wanted to go.
Right, and there were people freaking hanging on to the landing gear.
Right.
They were just gonna hang on for, I don't know what your plan was. I'm just gonna hold on to the landing gear till I reach America. I mean, come on, are you really gonna think that that's gonna be a good? I mean, why are you holding on to the landing gear?
And what's your point?
The point is, what's going on is those people that got onto those planes, they're not realizing, oh my God, they did no checks whatsoever.
Right.
No checks.
One of them,
it was only the biggest, baddest, strongest amongst them that were able to push their way through the crowd
and get on board.
And
now we're reaping the benefits of that, because one of those people that got on board shot up to National Guard in D.C.
Precisely.
But there's no outrage on that.
Where's the outrage? Right? Like
you're getting outraged because we're bombing what is potentially drug-heavy boats.
I'm wondering what is the game that they're playing here?
I'll tell you.
And what does it have to do? Because I don't know. There's some
let me
weird feeling I have inside.
Let me give you a
that
theory.
This whole Muslim thing and the UFOs and all these things, there's a correlation there. There's something going on.
This is the epiphany that I've had as of the last month. I've been pondering the fact. I don't know if I discussed this on the cast already. But my theory, my hypothesis is, you wonder, LA, Chicago, Seattle, New York, Massachusetts, all these large cities are all what? Blue states, right?
Blue states, right? Yeah.
They're the ones that are hell-bent against reducing crime, because if you have a problem in your city where crime is running rampant, where there's a lady on the subway and somebody pours gasoline over you, and you find out, oh my God, there's gas on me, and you run and somebody chases you and lights you on fire, like it happened in Chicago weeks ago. I think last week
The
it happened.
second time that happens.
No, this is happening not once, not twice. There's already been 5 or more people burned by other.
Why?
derelicts, reprobates of society.
Who thinks of these things?
Okay. So you would think if you're the mayor of a town or a governor and you having problems with fucking crime and the president says, you know what? I'm going to help you. I'm going to send over the National Guard to see if we can reduce, right? But I think that there's a more sinister plot behind why places like New York, LA, Chicago want to remain the way they are. And this is my theory. And it's going to sound messed up and cynical. But when I was down in the dumps, right, virtually homeless because I couldn't afford the rent in New York, my thought was, man, I hope New York City burns. I hope crime spikes. New York City burns. It's a place that people don't want to be there anymore. Why was I thinking that? Because in my demented mind, I figure if New York burns, nobody wants to be there. People are going to flee New York. That opens the door for a person like me, who I've been in the trenches. I was born in the trenches, lived in the trenches. I'm not afraid.
Right.
I'm not afraid of walking down 34th Street at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I've done it.
I ain't afraid of that. People that are from other parts of the country encounter that, they'll be shitting bricks. But I'm not. So people flee New York. What happens? Real estate value drops. Rent drops. Now, what is now $3,500 a month because people are leaving. Nobody wants to live there.
Right.
Now I can't afford it.
You know what I'm seeing on Instagram right now? I'm seeing studio apartments in New York City for $800 a month. A studio apartment? I mean,
it depends where.
In Brooklyn and things like that. But nonetheless, a studio apartment for $800 is a steal in New York, anywhere in the boroughs.
Well, Mondani now is in power. He's the elect. January next month, he'll be anointed. And I guess people are leaving. So here comes my hypothesis. I think I said this before. For me, it works out. If New York becomes a shithole, it works out for me because now I can afford the rent again, right? But then you say, yeah, but what about the rich? They're making a killing because now property drops.
Right.
So the top gets, like I think I mentioned before, I'm looking for a slice of the loaf, right? Of the loaf of bread. All I want is a slice because that's all I can afford is a slice.
Right.
But right now that slice is at $3,500 a month. But if that slice becomes $1,000 a month, still high, but I got a fighting chance. The people on top, they don't want the slice. They want the loaf.
Right.
The loaf right now is $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. But if that loaf goes down to 500,000, they could buy multiple loaves.
Right.
And then sit on it. Everything has ebbs and flows. They'll know eventually it's going to spike back up again. By that time, you got 30 loaves of bread and a lot of hungry people. Now they're in the captain's chair. Now they can write their ticket. So I think they want the big cities to burn. The people, the powers that be, the wealthy, they don't give a shit about crime, and they have other places to go.
Right. They don't even notice it.
Yeah, they don't care about it. If they want to live in the trenches, they hire bodyguards.
Right.
You know, they can live. And the poor want it to be a hellhole because they can't afford it. So this is why places like New York and LA and Chicago will always be blue. Because I think blue promotes shithole cities. While the red states promote better living, but it's just more expensive. So it's a game.
And take the fight from land and sea into
No, that's
outer
me. I
space.
got pause it. That's the game that people don't see. Republicans and Democrats don't give a fuck about us.
No.
They don't give a shit about it. It's all about their bottom line. And I heard a great analogy. Politics is herpes. Herpes, when a person has herpes, goes into a dormant stage, right? And when there's an outburst of herpes, that's when the Democrats are around. But then you get medication like Zovirax or whatever it is that they use for herpes.
Okay.
They put this ointment on, or they take medication, the herpes goes away temporarily. That ointment is the Republicans. If you see, there's a method to their madness. Republicans get in, they get the House, they get the Senate, then boom, Democrats come in, and then it becomes out of control, shithole, all kind of shit happening. Then again comes the Republicans, whoop, and it's a game.
Yeah,
it's a freaking game. So you can hate Biden and you can hate Trump all you want, but they're not the ones that you should be hating. They're puppets.
Right. Everybody there is a puppet.
It's a fucking dog and pony show. So is this alien disclosure thing. It's a game. Why? Because people are invested. Like I heard China is buying, within China and Bill Gates, they're cornering the market on water supply. Right? Because they fear eventually water is going to become a commodity, a very expensive commodity, because water, a cup of water is going to cost more than what you buy a gallon of gas. And people say, but why? Because what people don't know, all this AI technology, all this technology that it's at our fingertips, Grok, ChatGPT, that technology takes an immense amount of energy. That energy produces heat. And what do they use to cool these things down? Water. And that water cannot be recycled.
Right.
So eventually, water is going to become scarce. And Bill Gates, the Chinese know about this, right? So then you tell me, so when is this scarcity going to happen? Right? And you say, theoretically, might happen 150 years from now, right? And then you ask, why would a guy like Bill Gates in China be worried about what happens 100 years from now. They'll be gone by that time.
Right.
But they don't think that way. They think of legacy. They don't think of themselves.
Right. They think of what they're going to leave behind.
And they're going to leave behind. Or they know something that we don't know. And here comes the alien component. Maybe the aliens have a way to elongate, to further life. These people know about it.
Well, of course.
So this alien pinball, this alien hot potato thing that's going on, they're here.
Right. They're here.
They're here. And we're at what? Let me see.
2 hours and 35.
They're here. And the story that I heard, I think, confirms it.
Which is?
We'll take that after
the
next installment of the AM/PM show.
Oh, what? We're going to end up? We're going to end off?
Yes, we got to.
We're going to leave it up on a cliffhanger like that?
We're going to and we'll come back on the other side of it.
All right. So, with that being said, you feel like we're at a point where we should wrap up?
We're at 2:36. We're not wrapping up the show. We're wrapping up. We can talk about this forever.
That's true. That's true. But really quickly, because you were talking about, how the politicians, and we were talking about, how politics and how do they fit into this whole scheme and what they're doing. And it just reminded me of a conversation I had with another AI, a Gemini. And I was really upset because have you heard about this new thing that California just passed?
Which is?
They just passed this new law. Let me see if I can find it here. And it's very it's very upsetting because what happens in California starts to trickle around the world. I mean, around the United States and potentially around the world too.
Yeah, I mean, California, Chicago, New York is the litmus test.
Well, California specifically, like for example, California was the first to ban, smoking in restaurants and things like that.
And from California, it skipped to New York.
Right.
And then it just grew from there.
Or legalizing cannabis.
We're the litmus test.
So the law is called the California Law AB 495. Have you heard of that?
Tell me what it is.
It's known as the Family Preparedness Plan Act of 2025, was signed into law by Gavin Newsom on October 12, 2025. It is designed to support families, particularly those at risk of separation due to immigration enforcement, military service, illness, or incarceration by making it easier to arrange for the care of their children in an emergency. Now, this is one of these laws that basically allows for the United States government to kind of step in and take guardianship over your kids.
In case of an emergency.
In cases of an emergency. Right? Now.
But they do that already.
Well, this is, so let's see.
Isn't like what is it called? ACS or something like that? That if you're.
Or Child Protective Services?
Yeah, Child Protective.
Well, this is more in depth. So this particular law broadens the definition of a caregiver. The law expands
who can use a caregiver's authorization affidavit to include non-relative extended family members, which is broadly defined as any adult with established familial or mentoring relationship with the child or relative of the child. Opponents concern critics argue this broad, loosely defined category, combined with the lack of required judicial or notarial oversight for the affidavit, creates a legal loophole that a third party could exploit. They contend it could allow for an unvetted person to gain immediate authority to enroll a child in school and consent to medical and dental care simply by signing the affidavit. Some critics have called it a child traffickers and kidnappers' dream bill.
Okay, but didn't you say that the bill, and one of the points of the bill is that, let's say the child or the children, parents get snapped up by, let's say, immigration. The parent goes to jail. The next in line was somebody that knew the children and or mentoring them or related to them.
Right, but
how can somebody without all that step in and say, you know what, I'm taking care of these kids without being vetted?
Well, it says here, bypassing parental consent and oversight, the caregiver's authorization affidavit can be used if a parent is unable to be contacted. Critics argue that the law is does not sufficiently define unable to contact, meaning that a brief delay in communication could be used as an excuse to invoke the affidavit and grant the third-party decision-making power over the child's education and medical treatment. So think of it like this. Real-world experience with my actual life, right? One of my teachers wanted me on Ritalin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say they try to contact you, but, to breach that conversation, but you're working. You're busting your hump in the store. You don't have time to be answering phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, he didn't answer. Well, being that I'm familial or I'm familiar to the child, I can step in, sign an affidavit claiming I'm a guardian over the child and give authority for that child to get the Ritalin under my recommendation because we tried to call you, but you didn't answer. And the law does not specifically state that it needs to be that you didn't answer within 30 minutes or a day or weeks. It just says that they try to reach out, it got to voicemail.
My opinion on that is Gavin Newsom made this particular law.
Mm-hmm.
He introduced this bill. Now it's law in California, right? This is just redundancy in my opinion, because they were doing that already.
But the thing is that they still needed parental consent, right, to push forward. Like, for example, in my real world life, my teacher could not just broadly say, okay, we're going to recommend Ritalin to him, tell that to the doctor, and prescribe it to me, and then force me to take it.
Right, but
without your consent.
Right, but that's because I answered the phone.
Precisely.
But
even if you didn't answer the phone, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
Believe me.
They would have tried.
They would have tried and probably gotten away with it. Mm. You know how many things when I was in school that happened without my parents' consent? They would come in and inspect us for lice. People going through my hair, see if I had lice. My parents never knew that even happened. They just did it. You know, they did so many things during my tenure in elementary, in what's the next stage, in middle school, that my parents had no idea. They put me in counseling because I said, yeah, Hitler.
No, that's right. We discussed this. Yeah.
You know, because I wasn't saying, yeah, Hitler, like I love Hitler. I was like, yay, World War II. I want to learn about this.
Right.
They put me in counseling over that. They never informed my parents. They one time had me make, they had the class do an essay. Is drinking a problem? Is there a family member that embarrasses you or you're worried about because he excessively has too much alcohol? Please write an essay about this. My whole family are a bunch of alcoholics.
I'm about to say, who did you write?
Right. I wrote about my godfather.
Oh, man.
Right? And immediately they put me in counseling classes. They took me out of school and they took me out of a class. And now I had to go to counseling for 45 minutes, sit in a circle like I'm like in Alcoholics Anonymous. My parents never knew about that. I heard, I got very close friends whose daughter was confused about her gender. And they were telling her, it's because you're not really a girl. You're a man. You're a boy.
Right.
And they were coaching her into transitioning without the parents knowing. So this bullshit that Garen Newsom just brought up is just redundancy. Now
it's not just redundancy; it's codified into law. So now they can use,
right.
Now
But
the law was
to me it was happening anyway.
Right, but at least you had some.
Now what is going to happen is it's going to catch fire, and now another screw is tightened. Now. You know, not only do
it's the Patriot Act. In my view, it's the Patriot Act.
You know, it's
for
like,
parental consent.
Right. And did we have a say so on that?
No.
Did Californians vote for this?
Apparently they did, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Apparently they did.
You know, there's a trend that's happening.
Well, it's
this socialist mentality that people are buying into. They're buying into the great lie. And this is why Donald Trump is hated.
Right. So
the UK is a shithole now.
Right.
It's a shithole. I just spoke to somebody from Canada. He goes, Canada's out of control. Canada,
oh my God.
Canada right now is
their maids program is in full swing.
It's an Islamic fucking hub of what do you call that? Islamic not terrorists, but fanatics. You know, that want the extreme. Canada's filled with them. He's from Sri Lanka.
Oh my God.
And he's telling me, dude, Sharia law is like there.
Oh my God.
I had to leave.
That's what I'm saying. What is this Sharia law component? This whole radical Muslim component.
It's
in the grand scheme of this whole thing that's being unveiled to us in this chapter. I feel like, you know, you had September 11th was like the start of the movie, and now we're just going through it, and it's just like
more and more and more and more we're just dealing. Because before September 11th, I mean, Die Hard is a movie about terrorists, and they weren't Muslim. Believe it or not. You know, it's a movie about German terrorists. Our bad guys used to be Germans and Russians and in movies and things, but it's slowly just becoming these radical Muslims. And I'm wondering because Germans, we understand, you know, they were our adversary in World War II. Russians, same thing, Cold War, right? And now it's been ongoing with these Muslims. Like, what is going on?
See, Muslims, it's not Muslim. It's the
radical Muslims.
It's the radical Islamists.
Right.
They're exploiting this socialist movement. They're exploiting that to their favor.
I'm just wondering if there's any component where do they play a role? Like, did the Bible lay this out that they would play a role in the end times? Because that's what it feels like. We're if anybody is listening to this right now, please comment. Do you feel like we're in the end times? Because I sure do.
A lot of people do.
Because I mean,
a lot of people do.
The reason I feel this way is because, like, our reality is being phased out. Like, reality is being phased out. Like the way AI is growing. I had a conversation with my wife the other day about how intense AI has become. Have you seen the recent Star Wars clips that they made with AI?
No.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's Mark Hamill young in a scene that was supposed
in the Mandalorian? Or is even better than the one in the Mandalorian?
No, it's even better. It's Mark.
Do you have a clip of it?
Yeah, I have a clip. But it's a scene in Star Wars. It's not part of the original Star Wars or anything that they've done, right? But it's a new reimagined scene that they have with Mark Hamill when he was young, and it's absolutely
my theory,
mind-boggling.
My hypothesis is the aliens, the alien phenomena and disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
AI is the alien.
That could be
AI,
non-human biologics.
Yes, we're thinking that this AI is, somehow through what's this guy, Peter Thiel, the guy who kind of
the Antichrist guy.
Yeah, but not Peter Thiel, the guy who Elon Musk, he got Elon Musk and this dude.
Yeah, Peter Thiel.
Yeah, that's the guy, the AI guy.
Yeah.
Well, him. People think that it's a chip and that he has all these, banks of computers and I'm telling you, this ain't that. This is alien technology that has been woke.
Well, did you hear what Joe Rogan said in the intro? I'll play it for you here. Check this out.
This is alien
Jesus
technology.
was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
If you combine Tesla's Optimus robot and the best foundational artificial intelligence model or whatever.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you. And it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again.
Some of the people advancing this technology behind the scenes, behind it all,
this is
they
the
think
fucked up part. This clip is talking about AI. right? And could it be Jesus?
Right.
But that itself could be an AI clip.
Well, I saw the interview where he said this. But you're right. It could be.
It could be. And
Well,
you wouldn't be able to tell.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
So I believe this is the aliens. This is how the aliens will come about. Because this is alien technology.
Yes. But that's the whole okay, so that's part of what I'm learning. And that's another aspect to, because one of the things I wanted to do today, but the way conversations go, it doesn't always go the way I pre-planned it. But I wanted to go into and touch about like what Bob Lazar, right? Going all the way back to the original story, right? Because he was the first one that said, yeah, Area 51 exists, UFOs exist, and he brought people to see it, right? And then on the Joe Rogan podcast, he explains precisely, how this thing worked, right? Because he went in there and there was like, there was nothing that he could see that was like a button, or he didn't know how things worked. Like they just worked. Like you place an object here and it works, right?
It's just the way Independence Day. He goes into the craft. He's like, what the hell? How does this work?
Right.
But the ship itself is living. It uses your consciousness.
Right. But that's part of it. But like just the technology that he described that was in there and the technology that we have now, it just makes so much sense that they are
Tic Tac. You look at the Tic Tac video, it shows you exactly what Bob Lazar was talking about.
Exactly.
You have a ship that's like this, but once it wants to take off, it gets on its side.
Right.
Two things go like this. Boom. That's the Tic Tac video.
Right. And he was saying that, the components, that all you had to do was just drop it there. And for whatever, no plugs, no wires, nothing. You just drop it there and it works. Well, that's what I do right now with this wireless charger on my phone. You just drop it there and it charges. This is reverse engineered from that.
Now, you remember the time when everybody was talking about the space race, getting to the moon.
Right.
Right? To me, that was all bullshit.
I just saw a video. Michio Kaku says that that's all bullshit.
They weren't trying to get to the moon. They were trying to figure out how these fucking things work.
Yes.
And now it's another evolution. Now is the race. Either United States, Russia, or China is going to crack the code.
Right.
And China is dangerously close.
Now, here's what I'm thinking why AI was a crucial component to revealing the UFOs. And I think it's because the aliens probably have their own AI that they use, right? And what better way to communicate, than through a language learning model that knows all languages that ever existed.
I think that I could take that even further and say they don't use AI. The aliens don't use AI.
They are AI.
They are AI. They're what the source, the mother planet. We send out little Voyager, beep, beep, beep into the deepest. They're sending AI creatures.
And what if it's like Avatar, where
they can get into their consciousness into these things.
And then that's what they designed themselves.
And people say, they recovered alien bodies, right? They dissected them, and I think what they found was, they found alien bodies, but these things were a complicated organic and technology, like the Greys, to me,
robots, right?
But infused with organic, like sort of like the Terminator, how he's like organic on the, but this is further deeper than that. This is an organism, even akin to like the Borg in Star Trek, where they can take human biological creatures and fuse them with technology, and this is what they're figuring out.
Well, so there's
and let me tell you, how did these crafts work? They don't have to use buttons or anything like that.
Right.
Guess what? We have sort of like the same thing. Right now, I'm connected to the Roadcaster via Bluetooth.
Right.
These creatures, they're Bluetoothed in.
Right.
To the craft.
Right.
So they can just say, fly here, fly.
Right.
Because they're Bluetooth.
Right. Like using Avatar, the Halo, right?
Right.
Right. And yeah, that could be exactly what it could be. It could be, because, like you said, these crafts go at speeds that no living biological being can survive. Now, their interpretation of that is, well, then there must be some kind of gravity envelope that prevents them from getting crushed inside. But what if they're not biologic?
Because let me tell you something. People fail to realize that craft that is utilized by aliens via like a Bluetooth thing that they don't have to like touch and maneuver things. Just they think about it and it happens. We've had that for millions of years here on this planet. We use that every day. We have that. That technology, humans had it from the inception.
The nonverbal communication?
No, that vehicle that moves around.
Oh, the actual vehicle.
Yeah. That moves around. You tell it where to go and it goes.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
You're using it right now.
Oh, what's that?
Us. This vehicle. We're that vehicle. I get up right now. I'm going to go upstairs and grab a thing of water. I don't need a machine to like... my mind tells my body, get up. This is a vehicle. This is a vehicle.
Right, that's true. It's a flesh and blood vehicle.
Yeah, but it's a vehicle.
Right.
This is why religion is so important. If you start thinking about religion and what's going on now, this is a vehicle. God gave us a soul. We like into this vehicle. We're here, and then the vehicle, just like a car, wears with time. Then that essence comes out, and either you go wherever the next step is, and we're probably placed in another more advanced vehicle, just like this. But we're a vehicle. We're a vehicle.
Well, that's what Joe Rogan's argument was. That's why he's saying that Jesus could actually very well be AI.
AI. We are AI. We human beings are AI.
Oh man.
People feel this notion that you can, with your mind, levitate. We get up in the morning and we do shit. Like, how in the hell does that happen? How does my mind tell my heart, you're going to be at this time, your liver's going to do this? And
never mind that. I mean, everything that anyone's ever seen in their entire life is there because of the mind.
You know how many shit the brain does at one time? It sees, it hears, it gets hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's voluntary things and involuntary things. I don't have to wake up and say, heartbeat, come on, we gotta go.
Right.
It does it automatically. Right. This is AI. We're AI. This is why it's like funny. Like, I always think of that movie Bicentennial Man.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a very profound movie.
More now than ever before.
Bicentennial Man is very profound. I think we're in a vicious freaking cycle of reinventing ourselves.
I think so too. I think that's what we're I was thinking that it's a potential. I had two different thoughts simultaneously. I had one thought that we're
love
rediscovering,
that movie, by the way.
Bicentennial Man?
Yeah, because in the end, what happens to him?
He becomes almost virtually a human being.
He replaces all metal components, all gears, everything that was robotic, and he replaces it with organics.
Right.
And in the end, he becomes human.
Right.
Then there's going to be, if you continue with that movie, Bicentennial Man, you keep it going further into the future, they're going to forget that they invented themselves. And now, again, they start tinkering with little things. How do we become? And then they make a robot, and then again.
Right. And I was just saying to myself the other day, I was like, the story of Adam and Eve, right? The genesis of how we come to be, right? God says, don't play with that. Don't go to the tree of life, right? Don't eat off of that apple because, you can have everything else, but just don't have that one, right? But now with today's modern mind, right? I'm looking at it with a lens like this is so weird because I'm looking at it as if, like, because I'm a parent, right? We're both dads. And one thing that I personally, now I'm not saying I'm God, but I can relate to God, where I personally have the problem of telling my kids enough with the tablet, but it was my fault for allowing the tablet to begin with.
Right.
Now, the tablet, like this tablet right here, is made by who? Apple. And what's the logo of Apple?
The bitten apple.
A bitten apple. Right?
They tell you what they're going to do before they do it.
And now, right, because again, I'm a father, modern day, right? This is knowledge. This tablet is knowledge.
Right.
It's knowledge that I don't want my kids to know. Right?
Right.
Because it ruins their innocence.
Right.
Like my daughter, she's 4 years old. She knows what pregnancy is. The whole idea of the stork went out of the
and she's fascinated by this thing, by the way.
Oh my God.
She is enamored with this thing. Like every time I see her, now she brings up
pregnancy.
Yeah.
And it's because of the shows that are being brought to her by YouTube. But is that what God was
was encountering, is that another example of exactly the reason why God didn't want us to have the apple? Because of its knowledge and what it could do and what we deal with as parents in modern day, and is made by the damn company called Apple? I mean, what are the odds?
And this is a topic that me and the Warlock came to an agreement last night or this morning. We were discussing Dan Pena, right? And Dan Pena's approach and his business models in sales, right? And he told me something it hit home. He said, wow, this, I've been researching this guy, Dan Pena, because he bumped into that guy, and then he sent it to me. Now I bumping into that guy. I'm like, yo, this guy's a badass. I'm learning his philosophy. My first thing is, I got to tell Pablo to look into this guy.
Right.
Because he's very aggressive in sales and whatever. And then the Warlock said, would you like for Pablo to get deeper into this guy and maybe possibly attend one of his seminars? And immediately, impulsively, I said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, yeah, but then this is the problem. Pablo is a gentle giant. He's gentle. He's a good person. But do you want him to give all that goodness that I get from him to become a Dan Pena? And now the benevolent Pablo is gone.
Right.
And that's the caveat.
Well, that's the thing that I refuse to give up. That's why I so love the mentor that I have, because he is one of the very few people that has broke through while keeping those values in place in his heart.
And I was telling the Warlock that I don't get that from Patrick. I don't see a Dan Pena.
No.
So there are exceptions to the rule.
Right.
But yes, we're an hour 3, and unfortunately, my alien story is gonna have to wait until next time. But to wrap this up, the aliens are here. This whole conversation is we're being lied to. The aliens are here.
Well, yeah. So as the title of this podcast that I titled it as, the Trinity, UFOs, AI, and quantum computing, right? That's what was mentioned in the Age of Disclosure, that these are all 3 things that are in a secret race, right? We're all racing to unlock this, to unlock the UFO reverse engineer, the AI supremacy, and quantum computing. These are all things that are rushing together. And what do you get when you unlock all these things? The Terminator, right? You get like a version of the Terminator of like...
You get Skynet. You get HAL,
right,
from 2001 Space Odyssey. Lower More Man. You get sentience.
And as you notice, all the modern, all the space movies, right, required AI for space travel. Right? They like 2001 Space Odyssey. It required AI because AI was able to handle the data, immense amounts of data that you'll be gathering as you're going through space to adjust and to do all things.
Right, to travel through the time continuum.
Right. Even in
sure
that movie Interstellar,
what was it? Tar? Or what was it called?
Yeah,
TARS?
yeah.
That's an AI.
Yeah.
We need the AI to go from here
But that's our problem.
to the next one.
We're thinking AI are these like, like the Tesla robot.
Right,
They're gonna look, dude. We're just the aliens.
It's a consciousness without a body.
The alien component is that we figured out that these grays are avatars. They have consciousness of an entity from another place in the galaxy. And they're here with the essence of that alien civilization into this AI infused organic form.
Right.
And we want to know, how is this working? They're not so much enthralled into reverse technology in the craft itself. They're reverse technology the beings.
But here's the other aspect.
And how does that's like, for example, you get a computer.
Well, they created the dire wolves.
No, check this out. Let's say in let's say 300 AD, right? Somebody's digging and they find this strange freaking box, right? They find three things: a strange box, some long ropey thing, and then a thing that looks like a stick. They've been wondering, what does that box, that rope, and this thing? After many years, they find out, well, I think this rope goes in here.
Right.
Oh, this somehow gives this thing life.
Right.
And then they find out, but something went into the rope. And they take something akin to the Baghdad battery. They put some citrus and into some clay vessel. They get a spark, and for a second, clink. Oh my God, something happened.
Right.
Then they have this little stick, like, what is this thing? And it like opens and they close, and then they open it again. They're like, but look at that little hole. Like, if you stick, oh, this goes in here. That's the memory stick. Right? Clink. It could be a chip. Clink. Like, all these things mean something.
Right.
What is this? This is what we're doing now.
That's what I think that ancient Egypt, right? The ancient Egyptians, they stumbled upon the pyramids and were like, what the hell is this thing? What is this technology? And what was the Egyptians known for? Their magic, right? So they had all this technology.
Yeah, Pharaoh,
it was there already.
Pharaoh would have the staff.
Right.
Right? And if you look, again, they tell you what they're going to do. A perfect example of what the pharaohs of ancient Egypt is depicted, in my opinion. I'm a big movie guy. Bright. That movie Bright, where magic exists. That magic is this hidden things. That
It's technology.
Is technology.
Right. And why don't they know about what happened before? Because it was all in silicon. It was all on chips. All of our information, all our knowledge now are not in, chiseled in rock. They're not in books anymore. They're in degradable technology that could go away in a millennia
right? That could just easily wither away. And nobody would know how the hell we did anything.
And I firmly believe that Hitler and his regime
bumped into something.
They bumped into something deep. Deep. And I said this before. After World War II, the spoils of war, they split it among themselves. Russia got some of it. We got some of it. China got some of it. And I don't even think China was in the
war at that
time. No, I don't think that China was a player at that time.
Right? No, definitely no.
But there were two that were Russia and America.
Right.
And we got some of their scientists. They got some of their scientists. And what stemmed out of that? The space race.
Yep.
Mysteriously.
Yes.
And I think Hitler and the Germans, they were on to something.
And the other thing that they mentioned based on that movie, Age of Disclosure.
Right after World War II, comes Roswell.
Well, because of what they said in Age of Disclosure, they realized that when you blow up a nuclear missile, it downs these things.
Right.
And now they're like, oh my God, we can shoot fish in a barrel now. We know how to down these things. And they just blow up nuclear weapons, not for testing like they say they do. They're blowing it up to get more.
Now check this out. And we're going to end with this because unfortunately.
And of course, the UFOs, they're strong enough that they could detect that we're doing it, and they can stop us from doing it. And they're only by where those nuclear reactors are, whether it be a a submersible, what do you call it? Oh my God, a submarine, right? Whether it be a submarine with a nuclear reactor, or whether it be aircraft carrier that also has a nuclear reactor that runs on that stuff, or nuclear bases, or anything nuclear. It's weird, but anything nuclear, these things are found.
We have an example, and I'm sorry to say we got to end with that because it's already hour 3:22. Something happened a couple of days ago that you might say, wait a minute. These aliens come from the deepest ends of galaxies that we don't even know exist. They make it all the way here, and a nuclear bomb, the energy of a nuclear bomb downs these things? How is that? With all the technology they have, this is what downs them?
Quantum entanglement.
Check this story out, and with this, we got to go. Airplane drops 100 feet mysteriously.
Okay, let's see.
And what you're going to see is amazing. This happened the other day.
Airplane drops 100 feet mysteriously. Oh, man, this is just not enough time in the day. An airplane mysteriously dropping 100 feet, often felt by passengers as a sudden lurch or fall, is usually caused by severe turbulence and encountering pockets of rapidly sinking air. Sometimes results from mechanical or crew issues like a seat malfunction or miscommunication.
That's not it. I think I'm going to get it for you.
Plane that suddenly plunged 3 days ago, right here.
Yes.
JetBlue.
Yes.
Packed plane that suddenly plunged 100 feet in 7 seconds, leaving 20 passengers injured, was blasted by cosmic rays from space.
Boom. That's an example of what happens to a UFO when a nuclear bomb goes off.
Right.
What did they say it was?
What do you mean?
Well, you just read.
Solar. I just gotta get it back up here. It was solar radiate. Hold on.
Out of all things,
cosmic rays from space.
And what does cosmic rays have?
Radiation.
What does nuclear
Radiation.
Radiation.
And based on what I've known so far, based on what the people that have quantum entanglement, and when you blow up things in the quantum entangled world, they have reverberations that unfortunately, basically disrupt communications, disrupt a lot of things that they use. But I know we have to wrap up really quickly because
you got 5 minutes because I gotta go.
We gotta go. And it's late. Really quickly, for those that are raising parents and that are raising kids, rather, welcome to the new generation. We have now to contend with AI, and this is another aspect of the worry.
Hey, I'm getting pulled over, but I didn't do anything wrong. I need you to pretend that you're my dad or my mom when this cop pulls up, like I'm on the phone with you and it's an emergency.
Got it. I can play along. If the officer asks, I'll just sound like your concerned parent on the line. Let me know if you need me to say anything specific or just...
Okay, he's coming. Act cool. Okay, ready? Go, now.
Hey there, everything okay? Yeah, I'm here. Just let them know I'm on the line. It's all good. If you need me to say anything...
You're blowing it. Start now.
All right, starting now. I'm just right here on the phone with you. No worries. If the officer asks, I'm just your parent on the line. We're handling a little family.
That's not what a parent would say at all. That doesn't even make any sense.
Got it. Totally understand. Let's do this right. I'll just jump in naturally and say something like, hey, honey, I know you're dealing with the officer. Just let them know I'm here, and I'll stay on the line if you need me. That way it sounds a bit more natural.
Okay, I think I'm getting arrested.
Oh, I hear you. Sorry.
Hey, I'm getting pulled over.
So
that's funny, man.
But this is rudimentary now. Imagine when my kids are grown up and my age. This is going to be implemented in their life. And it's something that
my daughter, we were trying to find out. I forgot what it was. What we were trying to find out. She's talking to the phone like it's another person. He goes, I got you. Do this, and that. Yeah. And like in the lingo, like I'm like, yo, this is AI. This is insane.
Yeah. And then you were talking about, artificial limbs. You were saying Bicentennial Man, right? He was a robot and became a human.
Right.
Well, check this out. Let me see. Why can't you hear this?
Brain to the
come on.
heart modules to activate the blood circulation. Now, the lung is going to start breathing.
So let's play from the. This is called Oscar, and it's titled "The Most Disturbing Robot You've Ever Seen." Here, meet Oscar. Why can't I get it in the? Here we go. All right, here we go.
Human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. Connect the brain to the heart modules to activate the blood circulation. Now, the lung is going to start breathing. You can see both organs are now collaborating. I can add a kidney module. And if I add a limb module, I start actuating the organism to move. Now it's looking for the optimum temperature, which is 37 degrees. If I add another limb, Oscar will recognize it and beneficiate from new possibilities. We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype.
That is crazy and scary.
So imagine AI with limbs. That's Bicentennial Man right there.
Absolutely.
And finally, the tease that we were teasing the audience, the Star Wars AI. Check this out. I'll play a quick. All AI.
I'll be okay, old friend.
Peace is a lie, there is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.
I felt your call.
Without grasping the profound truth of power, your new Jedi Order shall crumble into shadows as it did before.
It's just an endless cycle of masters and apprentices betraying each other. Your rule of two isn't power.
The rule of two distills the Sith to their purest form. One to embody ultimate strength, another driven by relentless desire. Without conflict, strength fades.
Real strength doesn't require betrayal to prove oneself.
It was not the Jedi who forged your father's strength, but the moment he dared to forsake them. He became powerful when he chose himself over their hollow creed.
My father followed your path. In the end, he found true strength when he turned away from power, ending your cycle.
Your father's redemption was temporary. His legacy remains rooted in darkness. It's your legacy, too.
The dark side couldn't hold my father, and it won't hold me.
Confidence is easily shattered, Skywalker. Remember this moment when your legacy betrays you. One day, the darkness you deny will rise from within your own blood.
You're wrong.
Your life.
Isn't this wild?
Let it play, it's almost ending.
It casts a long shadow. Remember these words when your own blood proves your greatest darkness. I look forward to seeing your faith shattered.
Darth Bane. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's AI renditions, and that's what it looks like now, and it's only getting better.
I remember the times
and
of,
better.
Are you the one they call Beowulf? Totally different now.
Yeah, so
But with that said,
it's time for our final segment,
the ultimate Om.
All right, here we go.
Turn off the light, take a deep breath, and
I'd like
relax.
to finish with ohms. This is not a cult or a religion. It's just ohms, okay? We're going to relax our breath. This is a meditation pose, lotus pose, whatever you want to call it. Don't be afraid of your own voice. You're in your house, make some sound, no one cares. You're basically massaging the central nervous system, which, trust me, needs massaging.
Welcome, folks, to our final segment, the ultimate Om, where Anesto reads a small prayer and we purge all the negative energies from our subconscious, from our vessel.
Yes, folks. This is our last segment of the program. Thank you for joining the Paramid podcast. I hope you found our conversation intriguing, entertaining, and hopefully you could piggyback on our weird, enigmatic thoughts. And
we had a lot of interactions, a lot of people reaching out.
Yeah, I saw. Even on my feed, a lot of interaction.
A lot of people coming out, so we thank you all for joining us.
So with that said, let's clear our minds. Let's purge all negative thoughts, all negative energy, all negative frequency. Let's release that and let it go so that we can evoke positivity, happiness, and love into our lives, and that'll transcend to our family, to our prosperity, and to our well-being. And we do that with a prayer, and immediately after, an Om. So let's go. Holy Father, fill me with your divine light and overflowing positivity. Grant me the strength to radiate love and joy in all that I do. Guide me to attract positive energy and repel any negativity. May your presence uplift my spirit and bring hope to those around me. Amen.
Amen.
Now we breathe in and we let out an Om. Exhaling, letting out all negative frequency, all negative thoughts, energy, anything negative within the body. We're going to expel that and we're going to evoke positivity. Folks, I hope you have a wonderful week. We will be here next Sunday, same time, same channel. I hope everybody prospers, has a healthy week, and a loving week. And get prepared for the holidays. It's just around the corner. And I am Anesto Morado.
And I am Pablo Morado.
And always remember, if the universe is infinite, then so are the possibilities. And always remember, the paranormal is all around us. You just got to look closely.
Amen.
Peace.
Peace.
Folks, you can be reached at theparamid.com. All social media platforms, any way of communication with us is on that Linktree page, The Paramid Podcast. And if you want to visit our supplement line, is paramidsup.com.
That's
Peace.
right, folks.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I drive on a street because she my companion. I walk through a hill because she know who I am. She keep my good deed and she kisses me windy. Well, I never worry now, that is a lie. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to believe that there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. At least I have a love, the city she loves me. Lonely as I am, together we cry. And I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. Well, I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Love me, I said, yeah. One time, another bridge downtown is where I drew some blood.